Putting on the spot is weird.
I know, right? Yeah.
This is weird. It is weird.
You know what else is weird? That you're not subscribed to our Patreon. So go to patreon.com/AOTVcast and support us if you want a bunch of exclusive content and extra shit and early access and no ads. Go support us.
That's good.
We love you. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Aliens on the Border.
That was very proper.
I know, right?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, high blood pressure comedian.
Recently diagnosed.
No, not really. I haven't really been officially diagnosed, but it made sense because I went to the doctor for the first time in like years, and I was like, "Hey, I have headaches all the time." They're like, "Yeah, you probably have high blood pressure." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so." They checked me, and they're like, "You have high blood pressure," and I was like,
I knew it.
I fucking knew it, dude.
I knew it.
I turned 30, got high blood pressure, bro. It's all downhill from here.
Oh, when you turn 30, everything starts coming out. It's like a car. It's like the check engines. They all start turning on. Way.
Fuck.
Literally. Way.
Damn,
That sucks.
dude.
Yeah. Way.
First it was your back, now it's your blood pressure.
Then the knee. Way. You're gonna fuck up a knee eventually.
Don't fucking put that on my knees, bro.
You're gonna be the
Don't
that
put
guy
that
that
on
I
my
used
knees.
to play soccer, but I fucked up one of my knees.
I'm trying not to be that guy.
Yeah,
I'm
no shit.
still like fucking playing shit right now.
Oh, you still
Yeah,
got
if you stay active, I think like
Yeah.
you'll be good. If you're active, you'll be good. The thing is that you turn 30 when you don't do anything, shit, you'll get an injury just sleeping. Way.
That's what happened.
You'll wake up way with a fucked up knee and shit.
on the day of my birthday, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, we have all these like plans of the things that we're gonna do today," and I don't know what. And I was like, "Okay, cool." I rolled out of bed, my fucking back strained it, so like I just like, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Just cancel everything. Yeah,
Dude, today we have a very special guest. This is a very weird opening just because we're out of practice, if you can't tell. I mean, not really, but kind of.
But it's natural. It's
Right?
very natural. Like it's nice.
I don't know. But
yeah. Well, I mean that opening was a little awkward, but it's fine. I'm chilling, bro. I'm not out of practice.
I want to revel in the awkwardness of it for a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us today, the host of the Beyond the Darkness podcast, Chapa, a.k.a. Arturo, a.k.a.
El Cocinero. DJ Chapa.
DJ Chapa,
DJ
Cocinero, Ghost Hunter.
Ghost Hunter extraordinaire. And also,
I feel like I have like business cards for like 6 different things. Like,
hey, you got a ghost?
you got a
Or
ghost?
do you want some badass food?
Or you're
want
hosting a
some
party?
Because I got you, bro.
You want to go to a strip club?
I got you.
I got you, dude.
You DJ at a strip club?
Yeah, I DJ at a strip club. Wait,
I have a suggestion for a song for you to play.
tell me.
Aliens on the border.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found.
Faster than light, spaceship of the future.
By direction of the President of the United States, stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly?
Born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust, there is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
That's fire.
Yeah, so that if you want to play that at the strip club,
That's fire. Way. I'll be the first to tell you that's fire. Way. It sounds like Twilight Zone met with fucking Wu-Tang Clan. Way.
Oh, that's good.
exactly
That's
the feeling I was
That's
going
the
for.
best.
That's how it sounds.
That's the best description. We've gotten what was it? We've gotten MF Doom
We've
before.
got an MF Doom, yeah.
We've gotten a couple of other ones.
And all of that is what I put into a blender to have this come out. So
It's nice.
You should hear the custom Mortal Kombat one.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't have it on
You don't
here
have it,
anymore.
okay.
It's. I mean, I could pull it up, but not right now.
Not right
Not
now. Just go back and watch our Mortal Kombat episode.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to rehash
100
it too
episodes.
whenever the
Now,
one
yeah,
comes
you're
out.
gonna have to put the little link for the Mortal Kombat episode.
We'll put it in there.
go watch it.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this episode. It's been a long time coming. Arturo, aka DJ Chapa, aka El Cocinero, aka
AKA Spooky Chef.
We get Spooky Chef.
That's a good
The
one.
DJ
That's
Spooky.
actually a good one.
We've been friends for a good while, and I've always just kind of like bounced ideas off each other and been like good friends for a fat minute. I think we met through your sister, which is one of my good friends, and he's got a podcast called Beyond the Darkness podcast, and it's one of my favorite podcasts here locally to be like watching. A lot of it is really centered on the paranormal, specifically in like spooky stories and media,
that's what
that kind of stuff.
About today.
Yeah, so we're getting close to spooky season, and we just want to kind of get in the mood. We've got a few things coming up regarding like 4DF and a couple other things that we want to really work on getting like spooky stuff together. So I think what better way to kick it off than to have Mr. Chapa here today.
That's awesome. Honestly, thank you for the invitation, guys. But see, we started, with the Beyond the Darkness podcast. Well, I started it back in 2020 with the whole pandemic. In 2018, we started here in Laredo with the Laredo Chingon, which is like
that's true. Yeah, Chingon Laredo. Yeah, you got to give a shout out to that too.
And so basically, what we would do is we would do videos for businesses and things like that, like some funny videos and shit. And in 2020, me and my partner, we were like, you know what, we can't link up together because of all this shit that's going on. So we're going to have to start working from our houses on different material. And he started working on a podcast. I started working on mine, which was Beyond the Darkness, because since I was a kid, we would listen. I don't know if you guys ever listened to the Mano Peluda.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dog.
So in Mexico, like before we went to sleep, we had like this little boombox way. And every night, like we would play that shit. Like, before we went to sleep, that was like our lullaby way. And we would listen to the Mano Peluda. So as I grew up, I was in love with the show. And in 2020, I was like, you know what? I want to create something that's kind of like La Mano Peluda, but something more modern, different. I created this. Rene, my partner, the other creator of Laredo Chingon, he created the Tradition Podcast. And right now under Laredo Chingon, we got the Tradition Podcast, No Mames Podcast, and the Beyond the Darkness podcast way. And yeah, Beyond the Darkness, basically, pues it's like you said, way it's all based around paranormal stuff, way locally and from around the world, way because we've gotten stories from like Colombia, from Mexico, way from here in the United States, and some of the stories that we listen to, way sometimes are kind of like, fuck, way, like, why am I doing this?
So I told before we set up to podcast, I told Chapa, I was like, hey man, he asked me, he's like, what should I go like prepared to talk about? And I was like, honestly, dude, just bring some bangers, dude. Let's hear like some stories.
Wanted some good stories, right? Yeah,
some stories that like really jump out at you. I want to start with like, if you have something that's not from Laredo, and then we could talk about something in Laredo.
But look, we got different ones, right? I have some that are locally way, and if you want to talk about something outside of Laredo, on season 3, I believe, we did an episode called Panteones Embrujados, Haunted Cemeteries.
Yeah.
And we got a story from a girl. I don't want to fuck up the name, but I'm pretty sure it was like Norma or Lucero, and she was from Guadalajara.
It's always Norma.
Yeah, way. It's always a Norma way.
Or Lucero.
Or Lucero way. And she basically told us that in Guadalajara, there's this like epic cemetery that's been around since the 1800s called Panteón de Belén. It has like chingos of stories, like different things that happened there at the cemetery. Like, I think there's more than like 10 different cases going on in that cemetery. But the one to me, way, that struck up the most, like, there's this case called the Nachito case. Nachito, the little boy. He was a 6-year-old boy, way, and he suffered from, I don't know what it's called when you're like afraid of the dark.
Some phobia.
Yeah, like a phobia. And he was actually like 4 years old. And it happened like in the early 1900s, and their parents they were poor. They were a poor family, and the father and the mother, both of them, they would work. And one night, like the mom would always put him to sleep, and they would go to work because I believe they worked like 2 blocks from where they lived. She would always leave like a candle in the room, like just on for him. One night they go to work, and there's like I don't know if it was like a thunderstorm or what, but there was like a bunch of air that the candle went out. The kid wakes up because of the noises and stuff, and he starts crying. Like, he starts crying, getting scared because no one's around, and he literally had like a kind of like a heart attack where he passed away.
Oh,
from
shit.
how
From
scared?
fear?
Yeah, from fear.
Holy
from how
shit,
scared
man.
he got. The boy passed away. So the parents, when they got home in the morning, he was already dead. Like, the boy was dead, And that cemetery was actually a couple blocks away from their home, so they decided to, have the body taken to that cemetery, whatnot. And I believe like a week went by or something like that, and the place where they buried the kid, like, it was open, like the casket, everything was open. It was opened up, like someone went and I guess undid the grave.
What the That's fucking wild.
So at first the parents were like kind of mad at the people from the cemetery, like trying to tell them like, hey, what's going on? Why did this happen? And they all said like, no, because it wasn't us. So they redo the grave, like they put the dirt back and everything, and sure enough, like in less than 2 days, I think, like the grave was opened again.
What the fuck?
And they were all like,
Was the body there?
Yeah, the body was there.
Okay.
Like the casket, everything was there. And the mom had mentioned that, you know what, it's because he's afraid of the dark.
Ooh.
And from there, the same people from Guadalajara, the owners of the cemetery actually, what they did is instead of having the casket buried, they put the casket above ground with cement. And in the 4 corners, they put this like, I don't know what they call it. They're like pillars with that there's fire always going on with. Like they're like torches, I guess, but the fire is always on with. And right after that, like nothing ever happened. Like everything was chill. But there's been reports, like when they sent us this story, there was actually a report less than a year before that where the same people that, like the securities from the cemetery, that they would hear like the boy, like it's been years that this goes on, that they hear like a boy like running around, like just laughing, playing around. And now if you go visit the cemetery, his grave is full of toys because people from all over the world, they actually visit this place, this cemetery, because it's one of like the most historic places there. And they take a toy for Nachito.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
It is, because can you imagine being a security way and all of a sudden there's a little boy playing with Hot Wheels way? Like,
fuck that.
Yes, way.
Yeah, fuck that.
And that was there in Guadalajara. And you Google Nachito and you'll see the tombstone where like there's a bunch of toys. There's a lot of like lights and like they have the torches still. But till the day that's still there where like there's always fire turned on or lights because of the fear that he had. And I mean, I heard the story, and to me, that was pretty fucking crazy because I was like, damn, like how he died. Like, first of all, you know, like he died by himself. And then to still be like.
Super sad circumstances.
Yes. And then after that, like, he's still like kind of like saying that he's still scared of the dark.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Look at that.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's literally packed with toys.
A lot of people that go visit this place, they take a toy, or sometimes there's I believe there's like tours there from like a guy that gives you tours around.
Why, dude? Why is it that like stories and then like also like videos, whenever they come from like Mexico or like any other place in Latino America, there's just like another like a layer of like it's probably real versus like the stupid shit from or videos like from here. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the stuff here gets really sensationalized to me. That's why, but over there, it's just more like solemn. It has more respect around it, so it doesn't
like,
get paraded around enough.
Like over here, it's just like on the news, like look at this footage from a security camera.
Did you see it?
And it's just like something doing this like in the garage or something.
I just feel it's mainly the background, because if you would have heard this story here in the United States, it would probably be like, okay. But when you hear, like you said, Mexico or a place like that, like they believe in brujeria and all that, like deeply, right?
Yeah,
now.
dude.
Like,
100.
One of our
homeboys.
One of our Fear on the Frontera episodes is actually inspired by a story that así le eché salsa a los tacos, right? And I remember we were talking about it. It was one the one about the lechuza.
Okay.
That one was based off of a story from your sisters.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
Which one is it, though?
It's the one where we talk about how they had said not to, like, I think it was like a story that like your grandma had told somebody to not like whistle at the lechuzas.
Okay, yeah.
And then that it ended up like, you know, they ended up like mocking her outside of the house and stuff.
So, so the story way originally how it happened.
Just so you know,
yeah.
Before he continues, just so you know, the thing
creative
is,
liberties.
The thing is that we did take a little creative liberty, just for the sake of like
the production,
entertainment. It did it for you guys.
I'll tell you this, because this is a story way that it happened to me. Like, it's one of those stories. Like, when you ask me, why do you believe in this stuff, and I'll tell you straight up, like, because shit has happened to me, like, since I was little. Like, I've seen stuff or things like that. And we've all felt something or seen something. But sometimes I feel that ourselves, we would be like, nah, that wasn't really that. You know, you'll try to find, like, a way to kind of say that wasn't real. That lechuza story, it actually happened at a ranch.
Yeah.
We were at a ranch, and I don't know what we were celebrating. And it was at night, and it was in the town of Sabinas Hidalgo. That's where we're from. And at the ranch, we didn't have lights. Like, literally, the moon was like your light at night. Yeah. Like, everything gets glowed up by the moon. And I think it was like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. and there were 12 a.m. actually. They were playing loteria or poker, una de esas dos.
In the dark, bro?
In the dark, yeah. My grandma, she had one of those.
Beyond the dark, bro.
What do you call those? The
lanterns?
Yeah, one of those the gas lanterns. And you know the uncles, and they're over there sitting drinking beers and shit. And they're playing loteria, and out of nowhere, we hear a noise like towards the mountains. Like where we were at, it was close to the mountainside.
Dude, I have something I want to add to it right now when you get through.
Yeah.
When you get through the story.
You see, that's a haunting right there.
Yeah, no shit.
No, so we were playing there, and we hear a noise, way, and como en el monte, o sea, towards where the jungle forest, whatever you want to call it, we saw. Have you ever seen those? What are they called? The fireflies?
Yes.
Well, you know how they're little, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing like a firefly, way the size of like a softball.
I lied.
Like it was a big for real. Like it would light up like near the mountains, floating around, and then se apagaba. Y lo prendía acá. Y así it was moving around. We were all kind of scared. And, you know, there's always that one ant way that really doesn't give a fuck. The gangster ant. She's playing on here. She's like, son brujas. And we're like, what? Like, she said it very, like, fucking
very
naturally.
casual.
Way, like, son brujas. And we're like, what? I was like 13. I was like fucking scared. And sure enough, my grandma tells my little sisters, like, just, you know, don't whistle that, don't say anything. And my little sisters were like, making noises and shit. And before you knew it, the light was like feet, like I want to say like 10 feet away from us. Like it would turn on over here, acá. And the scary part was when it didn't turn on, and you would hear like little old ladies laughs, way. Like en el monte, güey, se oía como una señora riéndose. No, but like we were fucking panicked. I remember that night we slept inside the truck, güey. My sisters and I, we slept inside the truck. My mom and my dad, my grandma, they were all awake outside, just, you know, taking post, I guess. And we went to sleep inside the fucking truck.
Oh, shit.
I came back, and I remember I would tell that story to some of my friends, and they were like, hey, wait, that shit's true. And I was like, what do you mean if that shit's true? Like,
that shit happened.
That shit happened. Like, I'm here. I'm alive. I made it. But the funny part about it all, to me, was always my aunt, how casual she just said, like, son brujas. Again, in that town, like, it was very known that there was witchcraft and shit like that.
Yeah, like look at the see, like in the mountains there in Sabinas, like that's like where they go to earn their stripes. No?
So basically, Sabinas, Bustamante, all those towns, way, for years, it's been like one of their biggest stories that they have.
It's like Hogwarts for
literally, it's like the Mexican Hogwarts way over there. It is crazy.
Our homeboy Nichols, dude, like he told me a very similar story, but they were camping on the mountain. Okay. I don't know if it's like the mountain, if there's more than one cerro there or not, but like
it's a big ass mountain that literally goes around almost the town. Way.
Oh, okay.
But it's just that one. But it's all connected. It's miles long, but it's all connected though.
Simon. So they were camping in, I'm assuming, the mountain or whatever, and at a certain point, I'm fucking up the story, so Nichols, if you ever hear this shit, just comment what the fuck it actually is. But there were, I think his tia or like something like that was like, hey, once we're gonna go to sleep, like you guys are gonna hear like a bunch of shit or whatever the fuck, but just ignore it. Like same shit, like ignore it. And then sure enough, it was like, you know, let's go to sleep or whatever. And then there was like old ladies and shit like passing by and like all this crazy fucking noises and shit in the mountains and shit. So I don't know, like this guy also, I think it'd be interesting if you would have him as a guest on your podcast because
do you know Nichols? You met him a few times. I
think so. Yeah,
we went to high school with him, so like your sister knows him.
Yeah. So he like interviewed a bunch of brujas and all this other shit in Mexico.
Oh no,
like,
shit!
Yeah,
for real? Damn, that's nice.
He's told us a couple of stories here and there, and
They're
I've
wild.
referenced this. Yeah. I've referenced this a lot, but he told me like a very in-depth origin story of one of these brujas, and it was like a 4-hour podcast that we recorded.
Oh, nice.
That entire SD card got corrupted, and that episode got lost.
Oh no shit!
There's been a few times where we've been telling something like, and some weird shit happens to the files. Or there was one time I remember the time that was really fucking weird. Was we were in the old studio at Mile 1, and it was me, Josh, and I think Kevin. We were doing, we were talking about
some weirdness.
Yeah, it was something. It was one of the episodes closer to October, so we were like getting ready to start talking spooky stuff. And there was at one point that I think like you took off your headphones because you were like, "What the fuck? Did you hear that?" Like I don't know what. And I was like, "I didn't hear anything." Then crackling started happening on the mics, on the sound, and then the fucking power just went out completely.
Yeah,
this shit was weird, bro. It was strange, but but yeah, I mean, last night, dude, I was just about to start playing video games. Like normally I'll hang out with my girlfriend until she needs to go to sleep for work or whatever. So like I'll be sitting there, I'll be talking to her until like 10:30, 11, and then I'll just get up and play video games till I'm tired enough to go to sleep. And I got up from bed and I went over and I sat down, and then my girlfriend sends me a text message and she's like, "No bullshit right now. You walked out of the room and you closed it. I thought you had walked back in." And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, "You didn't come back into the room, right?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "Dude, I swear I just saw a ghost." And I'm like, "You're full of shit." She goes, "No, I just saw it. It looked like it just passed by. I was scrolling on my phone. It looked like it passed by behind, and when I put my phone down, nothing was there."
What the fuck?
And I was like, "Dude, I'm not going back to the room. You better come sleep in the living room." Like,
I'm staying in the... Yo me acá en la sala. Ahí no sé cómo le vas a hacer tú.
100% fuck that, dude. I didn't... To go back to your story about the whole, like, brujas and all that shit, the only experience that I can kind of, like, say is, like, similar in a sense was... one time my cousins and I like whistled at a lechuza and it started like flying towards us or whatever, and we shot at it with BB guns. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But
it's because it's always been like that. Like they've always used the lechuza or like the owl, right? Like a representation, and it used to be also like the black cats. Like they're always like the representation of a
in Salem.
Yes, wait, but in Mexico there's the nahual.
So, yeah, I've heard about that.
The nahual basically was like a ancient, what was it, like an Indian or something that they could transform into like different animals.
Yeah, it's like a skinwalker.
A skinwalker, yeah, basically a skinwalker. Y las brujas, there's like people that say that a nahual and a bruja, they would work together. Like, so the nahual, sometimes the brujas will use a nahual to kind of like spy on their work and shit like that. Pero siempre, o sea, por eso usan, I guess, the animals. And then basically like the owls or los tecolotes or things like that. Like in that movie, I don't know if you guys ever saw the fourth kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's basically about aliens, right?
Yeah.
UFO. But the animal that's you'll see there appearing always on the windows is a fucking like owl or some shit like that, way.
A barn owl.
And they have to, where you go to the zoo or someplace and you'll see like the owls and they look so fucking lovely, way. Like una lechuza si las ves, en el día, I guess they don't look so scary, but at night and with all this like information that we have, like,
and they're also pretty fucking big.
Yes,
like they have big ass wingspans.
The only time I ever saw one, I think, was the time. So I used to live across the highway from Camp Huizache, which was like the Life Downs area.
Oh, okay.
And I would go over there a lot, and I would like just walk around or like skate or something. And there was one time that I saw it at night, like just a huge fucking owl, like just kind of flying over. You see its big ass wingspan, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" And one of my friends like, "Oh, that's a lechuza." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, let's get out of here." But I never like interacted with it or anything like that. I don't think I've ever had. I'm gonna knock on here. I don't think I've ever had an experience with like some crazy witchcraft, just some weird shit that's happened at home, because we used to think that my girlfriend was being targeted by somebody that disliked her.
Yeah. Dude, story time. Now that I think about it, it just fucking made me remember. So today I was having breakfast with the family and stuff, and then it turns out that at one of my tia's house, they unearthed like some shit.
Oh, shit.
Like a jar or whatever the fuck. And I had an encounter like that, but like they didn't tell anyone. Like me, I fucking found this shit, and I messaged these guys, but then I was like, "Yo, mom, dad, like what the fuck is this?" Like, and they're like, "Don't do anything. We're going with the holy water." Boom, they pulled up real quick. Pinche crucifix, holy water, soda, I'm gonna rezar, puto. And then
you get there like Constantine.
Yeah.
Just fucking ready to go to fucking war.
Put away the fucking shotgun.
Get me a mirror. Get the mirror over here.
So fucking random rag just tied around your fist, bro.
Keanu
The light
Reeves
just
shows up.
Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck the deal is, because the tias that found that shit in their backyard, they didn't tell anybody.
But what was it though that they found?
That's my fucking point. Like they went like a couple days back. One of my tias came over to my mom's house, and they were having like a conversation with her, but I wasn't paying attention. And then today I found out that conversation was about that.
Yeah.
But like, if I were them, I'd have been like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? Like, y'all know what the fuck this is? Like somebody." But apparently, like they open the fucking thing and like they were going through it, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Fucking dumping it on themselves.
Yeah, it was like, "Hey, what does this taste like? Can I
There's
use
some-
these for seasonings?" I don't know what happened. We like no contaron toda la historia, and
But it was a jar though.
yeah, it
Like a
was
jar.
like some shit.
Man, I'll tell you this. So on our podcast, I have this this guy from Monterrey. So you told me that right now this guy was doing interviews for with witches, right?
Yeah.
So I got to the point when I was like on season 1 or 2 where I was like, you know what, I want to have an interview also with like a witch, a famous witch or something. And I found this man from Monterrey. His name is Lobo Blanco, and I'll send him a shout out if he sees the episode. Lobo Blanco. He's actually a witch. But a male witch, right? A wizard, basically. And
Is
a
that
no, I think it's a warlock. No,
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was
it's a
warlock.
warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a warlock.
No disrespect. I'm just fucking.
Wizard y que fuera Gandalf.
That's what came to my mind. I
Same,
like,
dude.
doesn't look like Gandalf though. No, they're warlocks. Allá son brujos, güey. Allá like they don't know batallan, güey. Brujo y brujo, güey. And pues
Or brujex, dude?
Yes, well, nowadays I don't know how they can kind of like say what they are, right? But so, anyways, this guy's like telling me.
We have Latinx
that should
now.
be
Yeah.
the fucking title of the thing. That's funny.
Brujex.
Oh, this guy would do like jobs in Mexico where he would go to cemeteries from people to tell him, hey, nos están haciendo brujería. And sure enough, like he would go to like the cemeteries, and sometimes in some of like the people's graves, se hallaba jars with pictures, with hair and shit like that. And he sent me a video literally of the work he was doing, and like it was a jar with like, was it deal? Yeah, you're fucked up.
We've told this story before on the podcast plenty of times,
abridged.
but just so you know, listen to this.
A bridge story of that. So in the house that I used to live in with my ex-girlfriend, baby mama, whatever, my dogs unearthed 3 different jars, but they weren't like about us though, because I actually like broke the jars and looked at the contents and shit.
That's like the first no to the way
Yeah,
when you find
that's
shit
what we
like that.
told
Way,
him.
like,
Yeah.
That's what we told
literally,
him.
way, that's like the first thing you.
It was
do.
funny as shit because I remember him talking. We're in a group chat with
Yeah.
Nichols, the guy, and I remember him saying, like, "Hey, I
Don't
found
touch.
this shit," and then he was like, in that time, I guess like Nichols hadn't responded, and Nichols was like, when he finally responded, he's like, "Yo, don't open that shit, or whatever." And then he goes, "This guy already opened them."
No,
No, this is what I did. I didn't open them. I took them out and I just like looked at it from like, you know, like looking at it or whatever. And there was 3 jars. There was a big ass one and then 2 small ones. The big ass one had a picture of a guy that was faded as fuck.
Okay.
Some article of clothing. I want to assume like underwear because it looked like the waistband, and then everything else was fucked up.
Sounds like a love spell.
Yeah, and then like a different colored dirt and various like herbs and all this shit. But it had been there so long, it already took on like groundwater and all this shit. The other 2 had 2 different pictures of 2 different chicks and like herbs and other shit. But they were smaller ones. They were like maybe this big. So they didn't have any pieces of clothing in them or anything. Yeah. But I distinctly remember like on one of them, you can kind of read the name on the back of the thing, and it was like Maritza something. I looked them up on Facebook. Like,
It was Norma.
It was Norma and Lucero.
Here's what I did though. I threw them back into the hole that I found them, and then I crushed the glass or whatever, and then threw
broke it.
salt, and then like fire, and then like holy water, and then
You didn't do that, did you?
yeah, I did.
I didn't
I
know you
promise
actually
you.
crushed them.
Yeah, I fucking was like, I don't
So
know.
this guy would always tell us like, if you ever find a jar, don't touch it.
Okay, all right. Well,
Like, don't touch it. Call someone, because supposedly I didn't know this. So like, one of those jars was worked on by a witch, right?
for sure.
So that's the spell the witch said, right? So if anyone comes in between him and that spell, which
They're
is
like,
like,
"Ah, what the fuck?"
Yeah, like if you break the jar, you're breaking their spell. So basically, they'll target you because you did it. So you know that's what they say.
Right. One of the guys that we spoke to about this incident told us that the best way to fix that is to just throw it in the river, any running water. I don't know if that's
Was that Gabe?
Is that that was Gabe? Is that accurate?
Honestly, güey, like, yo como te digo, I had never come across a jar, güey, hasta que hablé con ese señor, like, and he was telling me all this. Look, he opens them, and he does, like, his spells and whatever, and he burns them and does, like, hace como una ceremonia. But anyway, you'd be surprised. Every week, this man finds over 10 jars in the cemetery. Every week.
Yeah, man, this shit is
Like, he
super
does it
fucking real.
On weekly basis, güey. That's what he does over there in Monterrey. Y hace limpiezas y lee cartas and all that. Pero me ha mandado fotos y videos. And the jars, it's that way. Like,
Have you
it's
ever
a
gotten?
picture.
Oh, sorry. keep
No,
going,
no,
keep
tell me,
going,
tell
keep going. I was saying, have you ever gotten any like spirit pictures? Any?
Spirit pictures? No, because I mean, Fíjate que the closest picture to a spirit that I've seen is probably one that I took.
Oh, shit.
And it's crazy because it's not a spirit. Obviously, no se ve como que un cuerpo, but a long time ago, I had bought in this camera, and it was an Olympus. And I remember it's one of those, like, pocket-sized digital cameras.
Simón, yeah.
Y los LEDs que traía ya para el flash era como que ya más moderno, güey, so como que agarraba más. And I remember driving around the cemetery here in Laredo. And I took a couple of pictures, like, from the corner, from different places. And I would just see the picture, like, on the little camera, but no se veía nada. When I got home, wait, like, some of the pictures were fucking full of orbs, like, chingos of orbs. Y yo me quedé como, what the fuck? Then I remember going back 2 days later. I took the pictures in the same places. Y en unos no salía nada. Y en unos salía uno, dos. But on the first original pictures I took, it was like over 100 orbs in the pictures.
Oh, shit.
And the crazy thing, this happened like in 2007.
On the other side of the bars, right? Like of the cemetery gates?
To the outside. Like I was driving to the outside and I was taking pictures.
No, pero digo, las orbs se veían adentro.
There were actually some like on this side of the fence and some se alcanzaban a ver adentro del panteón.
Oh, shit.
But the crazy thing was, if you would zoom to the picture, like yo las abrí en la computer and you would like zoom in there into the orb, se miraban como caras, güey.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, güey. They were like fucking. And I'll tell you, look, this is a crazy story. I did that shit with my wife. We took the pictures. We went back 2 days later. Tomamos fotos, no estaban igual. We go back home and we look at the first ones, right? Ella se va a dormir y yo, güey, me quedo ganchado viendo las fotos. Craziest thing is, something's like fucking like, there's 100 orbs, but there's one orb, güey, that's kind of like you're just intrigued by this one, güey. And it was big and it was like super like whitish y lo acercabas y yo decía, güey, se ve como una cara de una mujer, like a girl, like literally.
Yeah.
I woke up my girl, güey, and like she comes, I show her the picture on the computer and she's like, well, yeah, it looks like a girl. And she goes back to sleep, güey. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like,
yeah.
Güey, yo me quedo tanto con eso, güey, de que decía, no, güey, sí se ve como una mujer y todo este pedo. Este pedo, güey, no es mentira, güey. Me duermo, like, I go to sleep. And I don't know if you guys ever been like, que te estás mueve y mueve, no te puedes dormir, and you start dreaming, but you still think you're awake.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened to me last night for the first time in a while.
It sucks, güey, because how it happened, though, is I was looking at the roof of my room, güey, y de repente ya estoy como si fuera manejando enfrente del panteón, güey, on the side road. So, hay cuenta que tú vas en Saunders, volteas para la left, es el panteón, y luego hay una little right, y otra, la calle derecha enseguida el panteón. I don't know the name of that street.
It's not Meadow, right?
I think it's Meadow.
Is it Meadow?
It's Meadow. It's by the Wendy's, right?
No. Hay cuenta que tú vas, let's say you're coming from 35 up north on Saunders Way, and you take a right. Before the cemetery, there's a place where they sell like the bouquets and all that.
Where the can place is at and shit. Yeah, I know what's that. That's Corpus.
You drive a little bit up, it goes this way, and then boom.
Yeah,
you walk
Corpus.
Well, on the straight street way, I was in my dream. I'm like not driving. I'm just feeling like I'm driving, y yo estoy viendo like the cemetery way. Y de repente I cuenta como que si se paró el carro, güey. Like, boom, I stopped and I'm still looking at the cemetery. I turn to my right side and there's this old house, güey. Like an old house. Y están todas las casas que están ahorita, but this old house como que me llamaba la atención, güey. Sure enough, güey, it's like, I get off the vehicle, in my head I'm in a vehicle and I get off walking, güey. Y me meto a la cochera, güey, like to the, where they park your cars. And then estoy adentro de la casa, güey. And I'm like, inside the house, it's all dark, like the lights are all out, güey. Y donde voy pasando como donde está un espejo, güey. There's no fucking like, reflection. I'm not there, güey. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so I guess I was like fucking
remote
just
viewing,
flying to the house, güey. Ando en la casa esa, güey, ya de cuenta que abajo está todo oscuro, güey. Y se oye música, and I will never forget the song because I think it was like a Blink-182 song, güey. I swear to you, güey. I go upstairs, güey, and I can kind of hear, yes, güey, I can hear like a Blink-182 song. Entro a un cuarto, güey, and it's a chick's room, güey. Tiene posters de cosas así de mujeres y eso, y está prendida la luz. Y en el baño, güey, está la luz prendida, está la puerta abierta, and I start going like towards the restroom. When I go into the restroom, güey, nomás se ve, o sea, lo que es como una mano y el cuerpo adentro de una tina del agua, güey.
Damn, yeah. You were on some fucking,
bro,
what do you call it? The Shining
I woke up, güey, and it was like, like I was fucking
like you were definitely
I was sweating,
else,
güey, like I was sweating, and then to me, güey, it was more like, so the last face I told you I saw on the orb was a girl, güey. A mí, güey, como que yo en el momento pensaba que, yeah, maybe that orb was like a girl that committed fucking suicide, like next to the cemetery or something, you know? Pero nunca, güey, tuve los huevos para ir a la casa esa, porque la casa que yo miraba, güey, ahí está la casa. Like,
bro.
literally, yeah, the house there.
Like, if you drive past, you'll be like, that's the
You'll
one.
see, like, if you pass by, there's a 2-story house. I think it's, like, the only 2-story house there.
Let's go drive
And
there
it's
right now.
next to it, wait. Yeah, well, you can go by. And you're going to see an old 2-story house, and it's the house next to it.
I drive by that street all the time because I used to, I told you I used to live here near the studio, like on the other side of the hospital. And we, to get to McPherson, we would drive that route.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, where, it's Corpus Street. Yeah.
Oh, so if you just take Corpus, it'll like deviate that way?
If you head down here, you catch Clark, you start heading up all the way till you catch Corpus, and you can go that way. And it's just a straight shot up until you reach Saunders, or like with the area he's talking about. You turn. I don't remember the street, that cross street, but you can turn, and then there's a place where they sell, where you can recycle cans at, and then there's like the bouquets and stuff.
Yo la calle que te digo de cuenta que donde está todo eso, pasas eso y es una straight street, way. It's
looking up on maps right now
and the fucking like cemetery, bro. The house, like literally, the house I saw in my dreams is the same house that's there. Like, it's next to a 2-story house.
Do you feel like that was maybe like a astral projection, like out of
body
experience?
It would have been nuts if you saw in the news the next day, like, oh, this girl committed suicide on this street in this area.
So this guy Lobo Blanco, the guy we talked to, I told him the story, and he would kind of persuade me to go to the house. He's like, you should go talk to the family, because maybe like they think it was an accident or someone did something to her, and maybe like the real thing is that she committed suicide. Pero como te digo, güey, imagínate, güey, yo llegar a las 2 de la tarde, aquí se murió alguien. No mames, güey. Sí, güey, it was like kind of awkward to me. And I was like, chinga, no, I didn't have the guts to do it, güey. So if anyone listens to this podcast and they know the story of something that happened like that near the cemetery, güey, I had that dream, güey. Pero the orbs, güey, yeah, güey, like you could see, like I could see the faces on the orbs, güey. It was crazy. We actually did a live at the cemetery, way inside the cemetery.
Anything crazy happened?
Yeah, we did a video. So there's a section where it's like the masonry section, I think they call it.
Like Freemasons.
Yeah, the Freemasons. Oof. And their gravestones, they're not on the ground, they're standing. I didn't know that shit.
Do they have like a bunch of weird like symbols?
Yeah,
and shit?
they do. They actually have a couple of benches where the people who belong to that can sit there. If you don't belong to that, you're not supposed to sit there, because I didn't know this way that they actually believe a lot in like spiritual shit.
Yeah.
And if you go like in their area and sit down and start like fucking around or whatever, pues, te puede pasar algo, or something bad can happen, right? I wasn't gonna fuck with it, so I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna sit here with you.
You'll never be able to construct anything.
You're never gonna be able to go in there with them.
No, but I know a friend of mine that I've been trying to convince to come on the podcast is a Mason now, and he is like,
I can't.
No, I don't know if he's not down, but he's basically like, he's just straight up like told me like X, Y, and Z and all this other shit, and like this is about that and all this other stuff, and I just been like, damn. And he was like, yeah, and I was like, damn. Like, I'm being very fucking vague just because I don't know how much I'm at liberty to disclose, but essentially a lot of it is like, I get like magic and with a K type of thing.
Yeah,
that I'm talking about, like all of that. So like, sigils and all this other craziness. And
well, I mean, it's a secret society that's been along for like hundreds of years, like, or more than hundreds of years. So I guess it's always like what we think happens, what the people say happens, but what actually happens.
Yeah.
Like we won't know exactly what goes on, because to my knowledge, if you belong in that, you can't really go out there and be talking to people about like what goes on behind the curtain.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he's like a little bit hesitant to like just be on here and say shit. Yeah. But he'll tell me like, hey, this and that and whatever. And it's a friend of mine that we, for a while, like we were experimenting with psychedelics, like me and a closer group of friends and stuff. And a lot of the shit that we kind of like got into around that, it happened to be a lot of very like esoteric, metaphysical type stuff. And when he like became a Mason and stuff, he was like, you remember all that shit that we would read about and all this other stuff? It's like, that's essentially what we're doing here. Yeah. And I was like, damn, like for real? And he was like, yeah. So it's a lot of like internalizing energy to like manifest your own vision and all this other type of shit like that, like manipulating energies and stuff like that. So that's what he's told me, you know what I mean? So like,
yo, fíjate, I had never heard about the Masons or none of that. I had never heard about that for real. Like, or nunca le puse atención. when I used to work back in the day in a pawn shop, I met a jeweler that he used to belong to the Freemasons.
Oh, no shit.
His dad, his grandfather, and his like great, they all belonged to the Freemasons. They kicked him out, way.
Fuck.
And
How do you get kicked out of the Masons?
when I met him, the man, he was already like 57, and he was a jeweler, and he was a very like a good jeweler. But we would always go outside, have a cigarette, and talk. Y un día we started talking about that, and he told me, he was like, no, pues like they actually kicked me out. Like my dad, my grandfather, he started telling me the whole story, and I told him like what was the reason. And supposedly the reason was because he was talking to his wife a little bit about
that.
Yeah.
That.
And they found out, way. And he told me, he's like, and you know how they found out?
All right, I'm going to cut this whole section out just to not out my friend. I'll leave it in the Patreon.
So this is what he says. He said that they found out not because the wife told them, right? Till the day when he told me the story, he states that his house was bugged.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Fuck.
That literally.
All right.
That's some Scientology shit. That's what I would expect that from.
He believed that his house was bugged.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Well, it's kind of weird to jump to that conclusion and not just be like, oh, my wife was telling her friends. Talking to her friends or whatever.
Was posting it on Facebook.
You'll never guess what they do in the 33rd degree.
Guess what happened today?
She went on a podcast. She went on a podcast and started talking shit.
Mi viejo es un Mason.
No, mi viejo, mira.
No es joyero, él es un Mason y hacen cosas malas.
I've always been balls deep into shit.
Yeah.
Like always. Like I think because of 9/11 and the Loose Change documentary, I think that was like the very first thing, and then it just kept going and going and going. And then I remember being like, "I love Freemasons," but what makes me the most suspicious is that they were like, "A huevo, we're gonna put out these documentaries on History Channel and all this other shit," and be like, "It's not anything." Yeah. And like, come on, bro, like, come on.
I guess that's the thing,
Know
though.
what I mean?
Nowadays, we like, mira, ahorita como preguntaste, ¿por qué cuando ponen algo de México te da más miedo como que es de verdad? Es que I think we're at an era, way, that with all the shit we see like on free TV, on the internet, YouTube, you could literally see a UFO right now outside. And you'll be amazed for like 15 minutes, I think. And tomorrow you're going to be talking about something else. In the 60s, if you would have seen that fucking UFO, you were going to be talking about that
for the
forever.
rest of your life.
Yeah, forever. And now, since we've seen all this shit, it's like, I guess it's kind of like normalized now.
That shit that you said.
I was just about to pull it up. So check this out, dude. During the pandemic, while this stuff was going on, there was they declassified UFO videos. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, the Pentagon video.
Yeah, the Pentagon videos. Okay, so we all know that happened. Everyone knows that happened.
No one cared.
As a matter of fact, it's funny that we're going full circle here. Tom DeLonge of Blink 182
was like, this
was
is gonna
the guy.
happen.
Yeah, and he leaked the videos before they were declassified by the Navy.
So the fucking triangle one is like for sure real? That disappears into a ball of light or no?
Whatever he released, the ones that were declassified were those two that we saw from the Navy where the pilots were like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, okay, Simon.
So then this gets released literally 3 days ago, September 9th. It says, the headline is, Navy says all U.S. videos are going to remain classified because releasing them will harm national security. And it says on here, the U.S. Navy says that releasing any additional UFO videos would harm national security, and told the government transparency website that all of the government's UFO videos are classified information. In a FOIA, in a Freedom of Information Act request response, the Navy told the government that the government transparency site, the Black Vault, that any public dissemination of new UFO videos will harm national security as it may provide adversaries valuable information regarding Department of Defense, Navy operations, vulnerabilities, and/or capabilities. No portions of the videos can be segregated for release. It says that the Black Vault was seeking all videos with a designation of unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP.
WAP.
This is an interesting response. I'm going to go here. In this response, Navy's admitting that it has more videos and also gives a rationale for releasing the previous UFOs. So it was 3 UFO videos, not 2.
The gimbal one, the Tic Tac one, and there's one other one. I don't know which one the third one is.
Well, it states on here.
Go fast.
It's true that the 3 videos, which were leaked to former Blink 182 singer Tom DeLonge and the New York Times, didn't originally come out by official means, but in recent years, the Pentagon has regularly talked about UFOs. And earlier this year, it showed additional clips of UFOs to Congress. So
how fucking crazy do you think those videos are, dude?
I mean, when they're I kind of feel like they're maybe being a little more cautious with the way that they're wording it, because I don't think I think maybe like they're talking about like capabilities, like
as far as like the tech that they're using to detect
detect it. Yeah,
that's the.
I feel like it's kind of just a moot point now, where it's like they're around.
Yeah, we don't know what they are,
but we don't know what they are.
Maybe.
Dude, I want to show you. Motherfucker, actually, now that I remember, the place that I saw, you remember those 3 blinking lights that were in the sky?
Oh, yeah.
On New Year's.
Yes,
I saw it at your fucking house.
Yeah, we went
I remember.
it
was those three blinking lights.
Yeah,
dude,
literally.
shit. Everything. What a perfect guest to have on here. To
Guy Ocho Hype and Hobbies and send some motherfuckers to the Shadow Realm, because every Saturday they got Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. And if you fucking thought that was cool, guess what, dude? They got some baller ass shoes. They got Jordans, they got Yeezys, they got SBs, they got anything that you might need. You got a special request, DM them. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Guy8 Apparel, or find them on Instagram at Guy8 Hype. And if you want to come and visit the store, you know where the fuck is located at, dude?
It's 1003 Garfield Street in Laredo.
If the shoes weren't enough, if sending your opponents into the Shadow Realms wasn't enough, guess what, dude? They also have anime collectibles. They got knickknacks, and guess what? They also have fucking patty wax, dude.
Holy shit.
They got all sorts of knickknacks, all sorts of fucking patty wax. And if you go online to their website, you know what the website is? You want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
All right, dude. So you get on your computer, and then you type in guy8hype.com. Now, you're going to buy something, right? And you're like, my homies, do they got me? Do they got me? Guess what, dude? We got you, because if you're on checkout and you put in the promo code AOTB, guess what, dude? 10%?
10%, dude.
We're putting that shit in the trunk of our car and stabbing it so that it doesn't go with you on your fucking carts. We love you.
We
mesh all this shit there.
Wait,
we were at his place
New Year's Eve.
on New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
and we were all inside. We were chilling, we were drinking, because it's kind of like chilly out or some shit like that. And his dad comes running out and is like, "Hey, check out what I just fucking saw outside and stuff." So we go outside and we go look, and there's these 3 lights just blinking at the thing.
On the skyway.
I have a video.
Oh, that's true. You did.
I have a video of that was recorded on the same night as another video that was recorded in Uvalde, of the same phenomenon happening in 2 different
areas.
2 different areas, 2 different angles.
Dude, so now it's funny you bring this up, because literally there is a crazy sighting here in Laredo from like a couple of days ago that's now on TikTok, and it's like blowing the fuck up, and it's like a crazy, huge fleet of UFOs or some shit.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lights, right?
Yeah,
I saw it. I just saw
like,
it. Yeah.
Are they the same thing, like blinking lights?
No,
or
no,
they're
like
not
solid.
blinking. They're
Solid?
just like waiting there for a race or something.
Yeah.
They're all just standing there.
Like,
yeah.
You don't think drones?
Fuck.
Too many of
That's
them.
way too many,
a
bro.
lot of fuck, unless they're gonna host the Olympics here in Laredo.
Yeah,
but
dude.
I remember
that's
those
a shitload of drones.
I remember them talking, like saying the whole thing about how the ones that I recorded were drones, or the ones that we saw were drones.
They were saying that.
They were saying that, but no fucking way.
I want to show it to you, but I can't right now.
I think that it was hard for them to be drones, güey, por como estaban controlados los tres, güey. Like it was 3 of them, you know. And the moment I remember we went outside, we saw the lights, and I was like, what the fuck? Like it's UFOs. That's the first thing we say.
I'll see if I can record it. Maybe we can insert it in. On
You still
this.
We
have
can if you have.
I
a
have it
video
on my
file.
fucking phone right now, bro.
Look up the one that we're telling you, dude. The one that we're like,
the one with all the lights.
I reposted it to mine, so if you just go to my TikTok feed, it should be on there.
Yeah.
What I think is kind of fucked up though is, so they tell us, like, you know what? Here it is. The UFOs are real. They start releasing the videos.
Like, what are you
güey.
gonna fucking do about it?
No, güey, lo más ojete es esto, güey. ¿Cuántos abuelos locos se murieron, güey? ¿Te acuerdas de que tu abuelo está loco, no vio nada, güey?
Yeah.
Imagine how many grandpas died, güey.
Yeah, like,
being believed they were
seeing
crazy and
the
they were actually
craziest
fucking
shit, yeah.
watching shit, güey.
I want to see like a badass one, bro. Like I want to see one like badass.
Which one's yours? Is yours the real Josh?
Yeah. Oh, it's not on there.
No, I just
All right,
see
never
the.
Yeah. All right, never mind. It's not there.
Yeah, no, I
It also looks like it could be like one big ass thing, and those are all the lights like across the thing. That's what I
just saw it today. Where I think in the morning I saw like a repost.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I just saw fucking.
No.
Dude,
I saw the video. I was
bro.
on my way over here, and I said,
We were
"No way."
outside having a cigarette. We saw.
I don't know if it was on TikTok.
We're on a
or
UFO right now.
We're on a UFO right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Have you ever seen lights like that?
I have it in my DMs.
Have you ever seen lights like that? No.
The only thing that I've seen once, which I think was just a meteorite, although it was multicolored. We were at my friend's place by Century City, and we're a group of us just smoking a blunt or whatever the fuck, and it's just a fucking crazy ass light. And it was like a fucking crazy ass light that was bright enough for, like, let's say it was 4 of us, and like my homie and I were sitting here. It was dark out. It was early night. And in that part of Century City, like, there was no street lights or whatever the fuck, because like the deck was facing out into the woods, right? So it's dark. Like, it's dark. There's no moon out. It's like dark on my day. Boom, we're smoking. And this shit was like maybe a meteorite, but close enough and bright enough to where, like, the 2 people that were sitting across from me and my other homie, they were like almost like if there was a spotlight on them. You know what I mean? Like, if you move the spotlight, one of those, like, over them. And we're like, what the fuck? And briefly saw like a fucking type of thing. But other than that's the most.
Was it just heading like towards one direction, or did it move around though?
It was heading like from right to left in my field of vision. So
okay, because like, that's what they say. With like, usually if you see something in the sky and it's just moving toward one direction, and it doesn't like move around or anything, so it could be a satellite, it could be a meteor or something, whatever. I've had it in my life where I think. It's been 5 times that I've seen like a light in the sky. One was with this guy. Like, we saw those 3 lights. I saw a light with my dad once in the same backyard. Wait, but esa se vio bien raro because we're in the backyard. And it was during 2020. We were just chilling, smoking outside in the backyard. Es todo lo que hacíamos, güey. Y se ve una luz que va cayendo, and we thought it was a shooting star, right? Pero fucking far, güey. And as it's falling down, it fucking stops, se apaga, güey, y en eso prende de este lado, güey.
Yeah, that's what we were seeing.
And we were like,
I have it right here, bro.
And that was just the one I saw with my dad.
This is the one they captured. Pardon the shitty video, but you'll see the lights are here, right?
Yeah.
And let me just fast forward to the crazy part. Right here. So you're gonna see it pop up again. Right? There's a second one. There's another one, and then watch.
Yeah, no mames.
Yeah,
what
you
the
saw
fuck
that
video?
Is that?
Yeah.
So then, I want you to pay attention to this. If I open up the details, because I had this transferred to another phone, but if you see the date on there, 2018-01-24, right? That's the date. Now I'm gonna show you the YouTube one. South Texas man claiming that the video he captured on January 4th, 2018, right? Same night. This is outside Uvalde. Check it out. See that? This is from Uvalde, so it's in the other area from like 35. Watch.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Same shit, dude, from a different area.
And look how they turned on.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
It's funny because also you hear the guy.
Nos están invadiendo. There you go. You know, yeah. That's like the first words you'll say when you see shit like that.
100%, man.
But you see, then again, like that guy, he probably sees the video. He says, gets off. And the next day, that guy's living his life like nothing. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is kind of weird, too, that I feel I was so like desensitized by it that when I was capturing it, I was like, oh, this is cool shit. And now it's just like a talking point with friends.
How many friends of you, like, you show them the video and they're like, mine.
Yeah, like, no, it actually
everyone's reaction.
It doesn't really get like a crazy. I mean, the most reaction I've gotten was one time I showed this lady at the Saludos thing when we did the Saludos Fest. I showed David's, I think it was David's mom or mother-in-law, I don't remember, but I showed her and she lost her shit. She was like, I've never met.
Bro.
She's like, I've never met anybody that's ever captured anything like this.
And then reporting it to the authorities.
Not only that, but multiple, like, oh my God, I'm losing it right now. I was like, yeah, dude, that's the kind of reaction I want all the time.
It's because that's the reaction, though, you expect when you see something like that. Pero ya ahora en día, it's, como te digo, it's...
I still remember my reaction when, people, or when, it was news, they're like, yeah, dude, it's all confirmed. I was like, all right, man, society's about to change. Now we're gonna
It's
start
been
focusing.
normalized now. We're gonna see them every day.
Yeah, we're gonna start developing anti-gravitational modes of transportation. Let's go, dude. Let's start fucking traversing the galaxy and shit. Let's
But
go.
how can you go? This is my thing though. How can you go from like just one day saying, you know what, like, okay, todo
It
esto es
exist.
verdad,
Yeah.
like, y si me entiendes, esto es de verdad, sí existe, to going back maybe 60, 70 years where they started like the Project Blue Book way, where they literally like made something to fucking try to like hide
Chill
all
everyone
this.
out, yeah,
Yes,
like,
way. Like,
ah,
they
dude, swamp
spent
gas.
millions of dollars to like kind of stop people from thinking there was actually UFOs in the sky. And the same people that did this are the same people who are telling you that, you know what? Yeah, that shit's real.
Well, I had an interesting conversation
Space is fake, bro.
about this with George. Actually, you know George.
Yeah.
We were talking about this because he holds the belief that the reason why, like, the Navy and the Pentagon and the Department of Defense, whatever, they're all kind of becoming a little more lax with talking about UFOs, because they're not saying we don't have videos of UFOs. They're saying we've got them, but we can't release them because of national security. He believes, and I'm not sure if I believe this 100%, but I mean, okay,
Psyop?
he believes that it's going to be a point where they say something like, oh, you know what? Like, there are UFOs. It's a threat now, and they're going to use that to try and rally support and create like a one world government to fight that threat.
Project Bluebeam, bro.
I don't know what that means.
No. All right, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Okay, well, that's what he believes, and I was like, okay, man. I mean, I don't know if I subscribe to that. I mean, but I can see how it would be plausible if they would
It's a
have,
theory.
4D
Yeah.
chess,
And it is possible.
4D chess, papa. You know.
because it is kind of weird that they changed up their tone from being like, you know,
I mean, usually the government to motivate you into something, they have to strike fear
Yeah.
to get you motivated into doing something, right?
Yeah.
That's what they usually say. It's fear. So if they put fear on you that, they're going to attack you, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably be like, yeah, we need a space program now.
oh, isn't that we have like so they're talking
Star
about the what was it called, Space Force?
Oh, yeah,
The Space Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made a movie, no? Like Buzz Lightyear.
I mean,
Buzz
there's
Lightyear.
there's a Netflix show. Also,
There's a Netflix show with Steve Carell, and it's not that good.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, that's true.
and it's
It's
called
alright.
Space Force, right?
It's
Yeah.
called Space Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about him starting Space Force, and it had an amazing premise, but it's just not that funny.
I just think like UFOs, ghosts, witches, everything. Yo digo que todo tiene como que un sentido. There's a sense into something, like why they're there. Porque no, ya estamos en un año, o sea, en un tiempo donde you just can't say no existe. Like, it's not there. It is there. Like, si me entiendes?
I think everything
Yeah.
is too documented now to
Yes,
say
right.
that. Like, before, it used to be like, my cousin saw this, the other
Now it's
day.
just like, here's this other video.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Well, it's
Here's
because, and now people say, well, now we have better cameras with the cell phones and everything.
But we also have better faking technology.
Exactly. A lot of people say, how come now they don't get like a better video of a ghost or a bit, But even if you get it, people won't believe it. I remember
Yeah.
there was this video back in like 2012 in Brazil. Y están entrevistando a un niño that he's saying he's being haunted by a demon, güey. And in the video, like, they're in Brazil, güey, y están en los slums. O sea, dices tú, para que tengan editing crew, eso está bien cabrón. They're interviewing the kid. El niño está llorando, güey. And that fucking try, güey, dices, no mames, si está actuando, he should be in fucking Hollywood.
Yeah.
Está llorando porque dice que he can't sleep, güey. That fucking demon todos los días lo está, like, lo maltrata, le pega, le hace cosas. And as he's talking, crying, güey, they just fucking pull his leg to the side, güey. Y se ve donde lo empiezan a estirar en el aire, güey. No hay nada, güey. And you would see that video and be like, oh, I love it. Like, see me
Dude, speaking of which, like, I just came across a video that's similar to that. Like, well, not the little boy crying part, but like being pulled and shit.
Yeah.
Is some vato at a gym, and like, they have security cameras in the gym, right? Whatever the fuck. And he's on a part of the gym where he's by himself. Sure, the windows are open and shit, so they even say like maybe it's the wind or whatever, but a fucking like 10, 15-pound medicine ball like moves and shit. And he's like, what the fuck? And then like some other shit in the background is moving, but he doesn't notice it. And then all of a sudden he gets like dragged like out of fucking nowhere. And he gets up, he's like, fuck this, and like runs the fuck out of the gym, right? But it looks fucking crazy because like the way that his body moves, like they had to rig something mamalon or some shit to be able to pull that off.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
It looked fucking insane.
Even though if the video is real, there's always going to be someone, or you're always going to say, nah, it's fake.
And it was
Lo
also
hicieron
from some Latino American country, so I think it's real.
You can't really tell anymore because now, like, even if they show you the real deal, like, this is the video, tu primer pensamiento es de que, güey, no mames, ya, like, en YouTube ya puedes poner pinche lumba y puedes hacer cosas así. So it's fake,
Dragons,
right?
bro.
Yeah, güey, but so now it's like, is it real? Is it not? Like, si te ponen el video como quiera, basta, ese pensamiento lo vas a tener. Like,
did you ever see that documentary, Sir No Face?
No.
You know, have you heard about it at all?
No.
It's no? Didn't we talk about this shit?
I don't remember it. I mean,
So,
Sir No Face?
Right, yeah.
It's not the guy that everybody saw in their dreams or some shit like that.
No. That's some other shit.
Okay.
Sir No Face is like supposedly like this is the best evidence of spirit, like anything, and I think it might have even been Jeremy Corbell, that fucking the guy from the Bob Lazar video or documentary that like put it together. It might have been, might not have been, I forgot. But anyways, like I tried to find like just clips of the footage of like this is the shot that is like if this is real, because apparently what they I saw the guy be on different podcasts like a while back about like right when it had come out, so maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, closer to 5 now, and he was describing what they recorded. Like they were in Australia, I believe, in like some abandoned place, whatever, where like people were like, oh, there's some crazy shit here, whatever. So they're like recording, and there's like a figure that is clearly seen, like you can distinguish it from the background, but it doesn't have a face. And they're like, this is the shot. This is like what everybody's been looking for. We've taken it to several different video analyst experts and all this other shit, and they're like, it's not fake. Like, it's super not fake. But like, tell me if anybody, you guys haven't even fucking heard about it.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
now I'm gonna fucking look for it.
Yeah.
Y ahí de cuenta que ellos sí te enseñaron que era, it was a real video though.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
way.
Like,
I mean, what would be your reaction seeing a ghost? Way? Like,
I don't
what
know.
do you think
bro.
would be your reaction?
I've been very.
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I was replying to something.
It's just X videos on his phone.
No, man, this is my fucking Gmail.
XXNX.
I've been waiting for a fucking message from
Ghost huntings on X videos.
A new job that I've been trying to get. So I'm just like kind of anxious about getting it. But yeah, no, I've kind of like, I mean, there is some weird shit that happens at our place. Like, but it's not like as bad as it used to be, like in the old place that I lived at.
Oh yeah, that place was crazy.
But I kind of just made peace with it, with just being like, you know what, no one's ever gonna fucking believe me, and like I can't really do anything about it, so I'm just gonna like chill, right? But the thing that happens at our place the most often is we will specifically go and turn off the lights in the kids' restroom, because the kids always leave it on, and you know we always just make sure that they're off, whatever. So this one time, kids weren't there; they were with their parents, with their dads, and we went and turned off the light, and we went out of town. And I had my friend Eddie Bice. He was house sitting because he was there to like feed my pets, and I asked him, I was like, hey man, just cause, could you just go and check the kids' restroom just to make sure that the light's off? And he texted me, he goes, oh no, they're not off. You want me to turn them off for you? I was like, yeah, turn them off for me. Right. Yeah. And then I didn't tell him because I didn't want him to stop going to my fucking house. Yeah. But I was like, all right, cool, just turn them off. He's like, all right, cool. And then he goes back the next day, and I'm like, hey man, so can you do me a favor again? Just go and check the restroom lights. And he goes, why are you making me do this? And I was like, I just want to check something. And they were on again. Oh. And he's like, holy fuck, I turned these off yesterday. I'm like, yeah, dude. All right. Just wanted to check if that was still going on, if it was just us. And he goes, fuck you. Like, why am I here? And I was like, just turn them off and just leave it. He goes, I don't want to go in there. I'm like, all right, well, just turn them off for me. And he turned them off. And we got home the next day. The lights were on when we got home the next day. So,
fuck. You should just take the light bulb off and see what happens.
Be pretty fucked up if it
the light bulb's on. Like, oh fuck.
But there's just been like random, so that we don't really make too much of like a scene out of it, because you don't want to scare the kids. But we'll all be like in the living room or in the dining area, and then all of a sudden like we'll hear something come from like our room or the kids' room, and both me and my girlfriend will look at each other and just be like,
it happened to us while we were recording a fucking podcast.
That's right.
Literally. Yeah. At this fucker's house. Like we're in the middle of talking about the movie Nope, and then like we literally stop and get up and like, what the fuck is like some crazy ass loud like doop, doop, like What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
But so I mean, talking more about the stuff for the podcast, dude. Like what's been like the weirdest story you've heard here locally?
Locally, they told us one of there's been a couple. The Little Mercy. That's why when I got here, I was like, the Mercy's here.
Give me a spicy water.
Spicy water? You got a spicy?
Yeah, we got spicy waters. Or
I had never heard of spicy water. Okay. Pero yo digo que aquí en Laredo, güey, I mean, there's different stories que nos han mandado de Lerridos, güey, del Mercy. But the one that probably caught my attention the most was the one of the house on Manganahain. I don't know if you ever heard that.
explain a little bit more because maybe.
Yeah, so on Manganahain, it's that end road. If you go to the new Cuatro Vientos road, whatever they're called. So when you go all the way straight, you're going to hit Manganahain, which is that long road that takes you to Zapata Highway.
Simón.
Ahí en ese stop sign, si volteas para tu left, instead of to the right, going to the Zapata Highway, you'll turn left, and it's probably like the third house on your right-hand side. It's a greenhouse. Y está vacía, güey. Like, vacía de que no vive gente, pero está llena de monte ya. Like, la casa está abandonada. There's, like, literally, like, trees growing, like, inside the house and shit. Like, está toda sola la casa. I heard the story from a person that his grandparents live, like, very close by to the house. Like, actually, I think it's next to the house.
Oh, shit, okay.
So, in that house, it was a man and his wife, both from Mexico, but they managed to buy the house back in the day. They didn't really have, like, immediate family here in the city or close by. The only thing they would have it was, like, the wife's sister would always call, like, once a week, just to check up on the sister and on the family, how they're doing, whatever. Y dicen que el esposo, güey, la golpeaba mucho. Like, he would beat her up every fucking day. Like, es lo que decían los vecinos, que la golpeaba mucho, la hablaba feo, that she would work, like, 2-3 jobs, and he wouldn't work, güey. He was just, like, a drinking guy.
A fucking drunk.
And, pues, un día de cuenta que, I guess, the sister calls, and no one answers. And then she waits, he calls again a couple of days, y pasan, güey, semanas, y no le contestaban. Pero ya había pasado que el guy se enojaba con ella y le decía, no le contestes a tu hermana. So in the sister's head, she's like, they probably had a fight.
She's on some shit.
Yeah, she's on some shit, and she's not answering the phone. Pues it got to the point, güey, where like, yeah, güey, I think pasaron no sé qué tanto tiempo, meses. This couple didn't have kids or anything. So it was like both of them, and the house was under the guy's name, I think. So the sister calls the police here in Laredo. And it was the police, or like the, ¿cómo se llama, güey? Como la esta de México que está aquí en Laredo, the embassy or something like that.
Simón, okay.
The consulate.
And the consulate habla y les platica del problema este. And sure enough, they make a call because I think right now still, like, si va la policía, pues se me hace que esa section es más de los sheriffs, güey.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I remember it was the sheriff office, the ones that went to the house. They talk to the neighbors because when they get to the house, pues está trancada la puerta, o sea, están tocando, nadie abre. Y los vecinos dicen que tienen semanas que no los han visto, güey, que no salen y que siempre miraban a la señora que iba y llegaba. Pues they kind of like walk around the house and notice that in the backyard, the door that led to the kitchen, like you could see through the little, like, I guess the little window.
Yeah.
And when they look in there, they see a lady on the floor, güey.
Oh, shit.
So, pues, they bust the door open, güey. Cuando abren la puerta, la señora está en el piso y tiene un tiro. Like, he shot her with a shotgun on the head, güey.
Oh,
So,
shit.
she's dead on the floor.
Yeah.
Dicen que olía bien gacho, que olía bien feo. Ya el cuerpo se estaba como decomposing, güey. Y que ya, pues, están ahí viendo eso y que uno de los sheriffs sigue caminando para dentro de la casa y en uno de los couches está el señor muerto, güey. Se mató también.
No shit.
And so pasa eso, se llevan los cuerpos, como no tenían immediate family o nada, la casa no se puede, como que no la puedes pasar a alguien, pero no la puedes vender. So por eso ahí se quedó. Yeah, güey, it's just there, like the house is there, like no, nadie la podía comprar o nada, güey, like the house is just there. Eso no sé si pasó like in the 90s, 80s, güey. Ahora, güey, hay vecinos de ahí que, la historia sí me llegó por un vecino de ahí, un señor, dicen que se oyen en las noches, güey, que se oyen gritos, like if they were fighting. Yeah, that you can hear people fighting in the house. Que en veces se oyen, like, gunshots, güey. Y en el día pasas, güey. Y yo ese día que pasé, I mean, también dices, pues, no hay nadie por eso. Pero siempre hay chingo de pájaros, like, chingo de crows en la casa esa. I went to that house because I was going to get in the house to record a video.
Yeah.
I kid you not, we got there, güey, and it was like...
Culiaste.
Dije, deja prender un cigarro. Sí, güey. Pero dije, deja prender un cigarro primero, antes de entrar. Y estaba yo el cámara y luego le dice el cámara, güey, chingo de monte, güey. Si nos sale una vivo, dije, sí, güey, no nos vaya a picar, güey. Vámonos a la vez. Güey, we didn't go in. It feels fucking, like, dark there, güey. Estás parado en la propiedad. La casa
Dude,
se ve
this
muy a
is
huevo.
making me want to go. Like,
It's
let's
there. The
fucking
house
go,
is
dude.
fucking there, güey.
No
Yeah.
Patreon content.
Let's go though. I'll.
Vamos.
We ain't better.
¿Te meterías?
If I can go with you, let's fucking go.
Vamos.
Mira, güey, we should get together. You
Okay.
guys, my guys,
Yeah.
para que seamos varios, we'll take some cameras and we can go in there, güey.
Is it like a trespassing thing when you get in trouble?
So, yo cuando fui, güey, no había un anuncio, fíjate. Eso es otra cosa, güey. I didn't see a sign that says no trespassing. And to me, that's like an invitation.
Facts, bro.
Facts.
That's like somebody's house just in general.
I
Like,
mean,
hey, if you
all
don't have
property, no one lives
Hey,
there.
think
No
about this.
if you don't
trespassing,
have your
güey.
door locked, bro.
Think about this, bro. Think
I
about
can go
this.
inside, take a dump.
Think about this.
I can take a
The
dump.
bloodstains are probably still there.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Nah, they have clean
No,
up
they
crews
don't.
for
No,
that.
they don't.
Wait.
They leave it up to the family to clean that shit up.
Güey, eran los
I know
sheriffs, güey, en los
because
80s, güey.
someone I
Es-
know had to go through like a suicide, and like they don't offer nothing to clean that up. Like you have to clean that up.
What? I thought there was like
unless
clean,
it's
like
in a
crime scene
private
cleanup
property,
crews.
like si lo haces en el mall, claro, van a limpiar ellos.
Yeah,
But I think
in the
it's
house
yeah.
of someone. Yeah, because this
Yeah.
person that I know went through some shit, whatever. Sadly, and call a suicide helpline if you ever fucking feel like that. But
They changed it, by the way.
yeah,
Here,
Yeah.
I'll read it.
yeah.
But go ahead.
So yeah, like when all that happened,
Yeah.
they had to like the own fam eran su casa, so
Sí.
their own family, they had to be the ones to clean that shit up. You know,
Yeah.
crazy.
Acá.
So again, just to say, we might run into
Yeah.
the blessing.
You can just dial 988 now if
988.
you're looking for Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Yeah,
Open 24 hours. You can also text them.
yeah.
Anyway.
And Mas, that day, you know why we didn't go in? Because we went there at 8:30 p.m. and it was like the sunset.
Buddy, it's 8:30 p.m. right now.
Well, this is the thing. We got there and it was fucking dark, wait, and we only had like a camera in our phones. We didn't have lights or anything. And we're like, wait, vamos a grabar y no se va a ver.
Okay, so
Because that happened to us in San
let's
Antonio,
Let's
way.
make the plan right now.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
make the
down.
plan right now.
Yeah.
I'm super
We
fucking
go.
down.
You guys have video gear,
Yeah.
right? What would we need to bring? Just like some.
A priest, some water.
I'm a second degree demon fighter.
I'll get
I'm
like
gonna
I'll
call him Nichols, bro.
I'll get a badass flashlight.
I'll tell you this much though. Like, so we've gone
I'll
to
bring
like
some
6
sage,
different
Eddie.
places, güey. Y lo que a mí me decía, because I asked this guy from Monterrey everything, güey. Like, literally, that's
Oh,
my go-to,
Lobo Blanco?
Lobo Blanco, güey. And I always tell him, mira, quiero ir a hacer esto. And he me dice, ¿por qué? Why? Are you going to make fun of it? No. I want to go. I'm doing this because eventually I want to see
Curiosity.
something, you know, record something. He's like, nomás tienes que saber una cosa. When you go to these places, like, you can't go in there como o jugando o con miedo, dice. If you go in there, like, with the sense of playing or scared, something might latch onto you. Like, siempre que llegamos nosotros, güey, a un lugar,
Does he have any supplements he recommends? Or fuck around.
basically, we just pray, güey.
you
Like,
you don't go.
Yeah.
You're already making jokes.
The jokes are
Yeah,
here
we're not
right now.
even there, güey.
You're not even there
The
yet.
spirit right now in the house is like, yeah.
So is Josh.
Nah, fuck no, you can't fuck with me, dog.
Okay,
Todos
but
callados, güey. Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
I don't know, man. I had always said that like I am very curious about those things. I am a little scared of them.
It's because
but it's because I also do like I
talk
do.
about it, güey.
To be there.
actually stand there.
100%.
Oh
different.
fuck, güey, it's different.
100%
güey.
different.
Oh, it's different, güey.
That's what makes me want to go and do it because I'm very intrigued by those things. But I don't want to go to make fun of them.
Bro,
but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I'm not scared.
Mira, güey,
because-
uno de los pedos más grandes que me han sacado a mí, algo así paranormal, right? It was last year in November. We went to San Antonio. We did the train tracks. We went to this hotel, Holiday Inn.
Okay.
That it used to be a jail in San Antonio, way. And we
Oh, I've heard about
Holiday
that
Inn
one.
was
Yeah.
a jail.
Yeah,
it was
I've
a
heard about
jail.
Oh shit, that's cool.
And
It's like on the thing for like top 10.
and the
whatever.
reason why they shut off the jail because they had a hanging and the body came out from the head and like the people got splattered with blood and that shit happened. Bro. So they canceled the jail out.
Why is that your reaction, bro? This he goes
That's his nervous badass reaction.
we're gonna be there at the fucking house and we're like, yeah, this is where the lady got her fucking head blown
Yes.
off, and he's gonna go, that's fucking lit, bro.
They just pull it's because I just imagine it like Gallagher.
No, fucking hell, man. This guy just finished telling you not to make jokes about that kind of shit.
but
But we're not there, though.
about that.
We're not
yeah.
there.
Oh, we're not there.
We're
Okay.
not
And
there
we're also
yet.
talking about a different place.
Yeah.
If I know Josh, he'll fucking joke about it while we're there.
No, it's 'cause
100%.
I'm
I'm serious when it comes
Me
to
that way.
this
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm this type of person. We like 2 minutes before we get to every place, I'm always fucking joking.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm trying to get
like.
like in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm the same guy that que llegas and you're like, fuck. Like, yeah, we're here. When we went to that hotel, en el hotel no pasó nada malo, güey. It used to be a jail y nos dijeron que murió gente and we did everything. So yeah, Ridos, güey, that was it. But when we were in San Antonio, we went to a restaurant. We went to different parts and people were treating us so fucking badass, way. Like they were so badass with us. But a lot of the people from San Antonio keep coming up to us telling us, have you guys gone to the Donkey Lady Bridge? And we're like,
right, yeah.
The Donkey Lady Bridge. We chingo. We went to Yaca acabamos de
Chick fucks donkeys on the bridge.
Literally, wait, that was my first thought. Like a donkey and a lady.
Because there's a haunted tour place.
It's like a cryptid or some shit. Or what?
There's a haunted tour place in downtown San Antonio where you can go and you'll talk to the people and they'll tell you.
You walk around and
they'll tell you like, oh, we can start off at this certain place, whatever, and you end at the haunted place in Victoria. I think the haunted hotel in Victoria or something like that. It used to be an asylum, and they converted it into like a bed and breakfast. We were talking to them. They mentioned the Donkey Lady Bridge.
So that place was actually like 10 miles outside of San Antonio. It's in the middle of nowhere. So back in the day, where there was a farm with a family, where it was the lady, the man, and their kids, and some like rich kids. They went up to the property and they were throwing like stones at their animals, way. And the man comes out and he's supposed to be, mad, like trying to like, hey, váyanse a la verga. and literally, his wife and him, they start throwing rocks at the kids. And one of the rocks, struck one of the guys like in the head. Well, his father, was like someone very important back in the day in that area. They went and they set up the house on fire.
Oh, shit.
And they literally killed the husband, their 2 kids, but the lady, like, she made it. She didn't die at the moment. And they killed the other animals. I think the story goes that the lady, like, on the way to the hospital or something, like, people that got to see her, she was all fucked up, like, all disfigured because of the burnings. And she passed away. Pero decían, güey, que en el camino a donde la llevaban, si era con el doctor o no sé cómo estaba, that she was, like, cursing de que whoever goes to the property, like, all this shit, güey. 100 years later, güey, the property is like a fucking park now. Pero la casa, güey, ahí está todavía y se ve quemada, güey. La casa ahí está. And there's like a gate around the house. To get to the house, güey, you go into the entrance and you gotta literally walk like 7 miles into the forest, güey.
Fuck that.
I'm down as fuck already.
This is the thing. We were at a restaurant, way, and the bartender and the waitress, they're telling us the story, and we're having beers, and we're like, you guys, but let's go right now, and all this shit. So we leave the restaurant, we go to the hotel. We gear up, güey. Yo estoy que no, hombre, que ahorita vamos a llegar y que no sé qué. Bro, we're on our way there. My friend's driving. My other friend's in the front, René. And we're just talking about it. I was the guy playing donkey effects on my phone, güey. Just fucking with it. Sí, güey. Yo iba según burlándome de que esto y que imagínate que salga y que soy así. And I was just but I was nervous, though. As soon as we're getting there, güey. No, hombre, güey. Todo cambió, güey. Era de que, okay, this is not a game. Like,
energy shift,
sí, gacho. Eran 2 de la mañana, güey, nos bajamos. It was fucking cold, and we started doing the introduction to the video, right? Y yo empiezo a hablar. Aquí estamos, y donde estoy hablando, like, you can see el video, güey, me callo, güey, porque soy atrás de nosotros como que, hey. And I fucking shut the fuck up, güey. And I turn around, and my friend turns around, and he's like, hey, güey, ¿viste eso? Y le dije, sí, güey.
Like somebody was like, hey?
Hey, like that, like, hey. We're like, a la verga. Sigo hablando, güey. And you'll know because the video is up. Es en el Más Allá de la Oscuridad. Es el episodio de San Antonio. You know this, güey. How my voice is kind of like laughing y con frío, but I'm fucking panicking, güey. Nos volteamos. Okay, yeah, let's go. You gotta walk the bridge. The bridge is like, I don't know, güey, 200 yards, güey. Es un bridge largo, pero en el medio es donde pasa el agua abajo de ti.
Simón.
Güey, vamos caminando y pues nadie va hablando y en lo que sí que no se vuelve, ey. And we fucking stop, and I tell my friends, I'm like, hey, wait, why did we just fucking leave? And they're like, pues yeah, we're here, que no sé qué. I'm like, okay, está bueno, vamos. When we get to the part where the water's like flowing, way, literally was crazy because as soon as we get on that part, we start hearing the water, way, and it was fucking weird to me because...
Como nothing.
Sí, güey. De repente, like, you're on top of the water, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, less than 2 feet away, like, yo no oía el agua, no sé si era el miedo. Ya que nos estamos acercando, güey, en el medio, güey, aventamos las luces, lo que traemos de luz, y se ve una shadow en el medio, pero se empieza a ver que se empieza a levantar, güey.
Oh, shit, bro.
A la verga. If you see the video, güey, you'll hear us run and how I fucking like, a la verga, I'm saying, hey, wait, my phone drops, güey. And the case, it opens, right? And this fuckers just leave me, güey. No. Sí, güey. And I'm like, a la verga, a la verga, a la verga. Like, I'm screaming. Hey, güey, estos vatos se suben al car. Yo me quedo, and I'm picking up my phone, and I feel like that shit's behind me, güey. Like, no, güey. I got back to the truck, and I'm like,
go, bro.
Should we get down? And they're like, no, güey, al chile no. Y en eso llega otro car, güey, y eran unos vatos. There were like 4 guys, and they're like, did you guys go in there? And like, we tried, and they're like, what happened? And we tell them the story, and they're like, yeah, we wanted to go in there, but it's pretty dark today. And I'm like, bro, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah,
it's
it's always
dark. Yeah. But the guy's like, for real, wait, true story. He's like, I mean, it's pretty fucking dark today, and it's kind of foggy. We're just probably going to wait. Güey, se subieron y se fueron, güey. Like, no, sí, güey. It's fucking...
Are you down? Are you fucking down?
I'll fucking buy a badass fucking, like...
We're going back,
when? Tell me when.
We want to go, si Dios quiere, maybe a little bit before, maybe the Halloween weekend. We wanted to go over there.
I can't do the 29th, but...
I think that's the weekend we were trying to see.
Damn.
I'm down.
And we got a drone, so we want to, like, try and send the drone into the house.
I want to get, so I'll get one of those badass, like the 10,000 lumen fucking lights. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking illuminate. I'll make it daylight there, dude. We'll just go do that.
And it's because it's like I say, güey, todos estos lugares, cuando los platico con camaradas y eso, todos dicen lo mismo, like, chinga, güey, I want to go. Y les digo, it's different, though. Like, it is different. Like, ya cuando llegas, like, it's something different porque ya es como dicen, pues si te pasa algo, ya sabes lo que andas haciendo, güey. ¿Sí me entiendes? Tú, it's in your own, ¿cómo se dice, güey? Tú solo sabes,
at your own risk, at your own peril.
Exactly, güey. Yeah. Ya sabes a lo que te estás metiendo. Yo como te digo, the reason I usually do this, güey, because not that I'm looking for answers, pero es de tantas historias que te llegan y de las cosas que yo digo. Like, ¿qué está pasando?
So straight up, you saw a shadow figure. Oh, yeah. Like, what did it look like? What type of outline or what?
Like a fucking person, güey. Sin mamadas. Like
when you say that it started, like, did it start levitating or it started getting bigger?
So this is the thing. We're there, güey, y se ve enfrente de nosotros, and we're starting to, like, back, hacernos patas. Because at first I thought it was an animal, güey. Porque estás en el pinche monte, güey. Te puede salir un pinche mountain lion, algo. Y donde nos empezamos a mover, güey, that shadow that we're looking at in the middle, literally, güey, se ve que se empieza a subir, güey. No que se hace grande, no que empieza a flotar, güey. Se empieza a ver para arriba, güey, la shadow, güey.
Like levitating. This shit is levitating straight up. No le echaron una pinche...
Güey, le aventamos luz y nomás se veía oscuro, güey, lo que se estaba moviendo, güey. It was fucked up, güey. Y el video es de noche, güey. Ese es el pedo. Que está de noche... No traíamos focos, traíamos lámparas y eso, alusas hasta cierto punto, pero las cámaras que estábamos usando, we're using the phones, güey.
Oh,
we didn't have porque la cámara de mi amigo se veía bien dark, güey, no levantaba nada.
Get yourself some Sony.
Yes, güey, we need a fucking Sony, if you're listening to us.
I have one, dude.
Well, we better bring it.
I have an A7. Let's do it.
Ahí está.
Tú estás ahí enfrente y...
Nah.
I'll
go strapped.
Look, like cover my 6, I'll go in the front.
What are we going to do? Just for the mountain lions. I'm not going to shoot
a ghost. That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the house, though. ¿Sí me entiendes? That was the whole plan.
I'm down. I'm down for that weekend.
So, if you go and Google Donkey Lady Bridge, te va a decir el map te dice dónde está el parque, ¿verdad? Ahí hay fotos, güey, que te puedes acercar en el mapa y se ve la propiedad chiquita, güey, donde está la casa. Es una casa que todavía se ve, güey. O sea, ya se ve como
Did you guys go back the next day or anything? Daylight, nada?
No, because the next day was Sunday and we came back.
Ah, Simón.
Pero ahora el plan que tenemos es we want to get there like at 5, 6 p.m., güey. De día, para llegar de día and start walking, pero esperarnos hasta la noche.
Y luego, boom.
Para allá empezar, ya.
That's badass. I'll go just to see that shadow, bro.
It's because
straight up.
That day lo que nos pescó a nosotros bien gacho en Curve Bus, because we weren't going to that trip for that place.
Era pero
sí, güey, pero era como en las pinches películas, todo el mundo te está diciendo Donkey, and you're like, pues, ¿qué es esto? Sí, güey. Yeah. And you get there not expecting, first of all, we weren't expecting to drive that far out, güey. Porque ya que estás ahí dices, verga, güey, todos los pinches movies de serial killers así empiezan. O sea, son en lugares de estos donde si te pasa algo, no hay nadie. Like, no hay gente ahí, no hay nadie, güey. Es monte ahí donde estábamos.
Let's, okay, actually, I have a question about that. So,
shit, I didn't realize. I was wondering why they called her the Donkey Lady. It says here, various theories exist about the origin of the place. One of the most popular suggesting that her husband started it, but her fingers fused together, leaving stumps that resembled hooves from a distance. Yeah. A physical feature that inspired the nickname Donkey Lady.
Here, my mind automatically went to, like, they killed everyone. They killed the donkey, put the head on the lady, and then they killed her like that.
I thought it was gonna be like she just fucking screamed like a donkey or some shit.
That would be fucking wild.
Dude, if some lady just comes stumbling out and just like,
And you know what also got us? That when we were going there, everyone was saying, like, the Donkey Lady Bridge. Pero no te contaban la historia bien, güey. Nomás te decían, se murió una familia.
Some shit.
We were in the hotel, and I remember, like, we were blazing in the hotel. Dije, yo voy a fumar antes de ir.
What?
Y donde estoy
They have
ahí,
a
güey.
phone number for the Donkey Lady.
We start seeing what he's seeing right now. We started seeing it, so we're like, a la verga. We're actually going to this place, like, and all this shit happened. Es que es un park, güey. Ahora ahí es un pinche como un park, like a state park, güey.
Puedes ir y
Yes, güey. You can have like a picnic.
I'm gonna call it.
Let's go make a carne, güey.
Güey, I think que si hay grills, güey. Es que la casa está en la propiedad del parque.
All right, we just called the Donkey Lady shit.
Estás
sacando el palo chingos, Roger, cuando vayamos, güey. Ahora la verga.
3 a.m., güey. You get a random call, güey, at 3 a.m.
Güey, ¿me hablaste?
Sí, no se está.
all of these, they all say that they have a phone number, but they're all giving me different phone numbers.
I think if they have a phone number, it's for the state park, though.
Probably. Nah, it says on here.
I don't think she had a phone though. In that
yeah, come on, this is like what, like
it's about it's probably out of.
I think it was like 1904 or 19 something way when that shit happens. I think.
Because I mean, there's that chick in the Charlie
I'm not
Chaplin
saying that she
movie
has a phone number. Wait, I'm not saying I'm gonna text her and be like, "Hey, Donkey Lady, you up?" Like, I just, hey,
are you around?
WYD. WYD.
No, it says you can call and get a creepy message.
Yeah, wait, porque luego. Yeah.
All right, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to call on Halloween apparently.
Man,
what I was gonna ask was about the train tracks. What?
Yeah, we went to the train
that?
tracks. Fíjate, en el train tracks we recorded a video, and the car does. Es que está bien raro, güey, because the car's off. You turn your car off, güey. You just leave it in neutral, y se empieza a ir with the car. Y está bien chistoso because I remember we had like a little tennis ball. Y dije, si la tennis ball se va, you know, it's all.
You just put it. Boom.
Y no se fue, güey. And I was like, wow. Y ahí fue donde me
the
saqué.
powder o no?
Y we did the powder y tenemos en el video, güey. Está con ganas, güey, porque we do the powder. Nos bajamos, güey. And I'm like, yo no veo manos, pero veo como dedos, güey. Like, it was weird. Y en lo que nosotros estamos ahí, güey, un señor y una señora pasan y se paran con nosotros and they start talking like, no, we're from Colorado.
We came all the way down.
Yeah, literally, we're from Colorado. We came to San Antonio and we're like sightseeing all this haunted stuff y que nos bien emocionados. Luego se para otro car, un señor con sus dos hijos. Y nos pregunta que qué hacíamos. He saw the cameras and everything. Ya le dijimos, no, we have a YouTube channel, And he's like, se pueden tomar mis niños unas fotos con ustedes. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Simón. So we were taking pictures with them. Y en eso la señora, güey, la del señor, she starts screaming, güey. And it's all on video. She starts screaming. Güey, en el hood de su car, no atrás. En el hood, güey, había manos, güey.
Oh, shit.
Y el video que tenemos en YouTube sale donde la señora está toda, like, paranoid. Y se ven, güey, como en el car manitas, no atrás, güey. Like, all over the fucking car, güey.
Oh, shit.
A nosotros, we had, like, fingerprints. And then we went back at night, güey. Pero ya no, o sea, era lo mismo. Yo veía nomás como que deditos. It was weird, güey.
After
But
pushing
the
so
lady,
many cars, bro, they're buff as fuck.
yeah, they're just like, paz. Deja tú, nos dieron, nosotros no llevábamos harina, no llevábamos nada. Y unas muchachas, they were doing it, and
Just
they
a
saw us.
dirty ass car.
No, güey, nos dan la bolsa de harina, güey. And my friend's like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm like, you put it in the back, güey, and they're gonna touch it. Y este vato, güey, era toda una bolsa completa de harina, güey. Starts like fucking showing all harina. Güey, I'm laughing my ass off, güey, because his fucking shoes are all white, güey. They're all white. Y pasaba gente y nos miraba como, what chinga tan así. O sea, era de que agarrar poquito, ¿verdad? Madero que hizo de harina, güey. Pero,
chingo de tortillas.
I mean, sí se veían algo. Está el video, güey, ahí lo tenemos. Ese, es del trip, ese es San Antonio. Ese la señora fue donde sí me saqué onda porque sí se ven manitas, güey, en su carro y te quedas a la verga. O sea, sí, pues chingo de gente viene de afuera de Texas, güey, para ver este pedo. Y yo no sabía la historia completa. O sea, ahí donde está ese train track, matan a unos niños en un autobús.
Sí, okay.
Y todos los niños que se murieron, las calles de la colonia son puros nombres de niños, güey, sí. Ese pedo yo no lo sabía. Pero esta última vez que fuimos, ya estaban quitando la colonia, güey.
No mames.
Sí, güey. Ya no que, porque según que toda esa propiedad la iban a pegar con un parque que está ahí. So the people
These fuckers build parks on the worst shit, bro.
Literally,
Like, hey, I heard a family got massacred here. How about a park?
Jungle gym?
How about a family park? No, güey, las casas que estaban ahí parece que they were like buying out people. O sea, les compraban las casas bien pagadas, güey, para que se fueran porque they wanted to do all, like, es que ahí como que es un tipo pasando eso, está un panteón chiquito y está un country club, güey. Y dices, no mames, güey. Está el pinche train track, está un panteón viejo y está el country club.
Death, rich.
Yeah, the country club, they want to buy the whole property and just like porque parece que en esas vías ya no pasaba, ya ahí no iba a pasar el tren, no sé qué iban a hacer. Pero güey, muy buen todavía estaba, güey. Sí había calles con los nombres de niños, güey. Sí.
Fucking A, bro. Is that so? You say you've been to 6 places, right? Or 5?
For this, we've
Like
been,
just
así que hemos ido, fuimos a lo del Donkey Lady, fuimos al Hotel S, fuimos a los train tracks, aquí en Laredo fuimos al Panteón, fuimos al Slaughter Park. That was our first video, güey, the Slaughter Park, güey.
I lived right next to Slaughter Park.
And I was like, pues fuck it, we want to do
Let's go see
something
what's
local,
up,
let's
yeah.
see what's up.
Did you go to the house or what?
Yeah, we went to the house. A friend of mine, he was telling me that his great-grandmother, someone, she used to work for the family, which is the, I guess, Slaughter family, or in that house. Y no sé si ustedes han visto la casa que está en Guadalupe, o no es Guadalupe, la que está atrás de Burger King.
Simón.
Que ahorita ya es un art place, right?
Yeah.
Canseco.
That used to be like a pharmacy. I didn't know this.
Oh, shit.
So this lady would go walking from Slaughter Park to that house, supposedly, to like buy the medicines and shit for the family. Yo no sabía eso. Dice que ella trabajó ahí muchos años en esa casa. Que se había matado una maid, güey, nos contaron.
I have actually. There's a lot of stories that
I've
happen.
been into the house, by the way.
Yeah, so have I. It is a community garden. I live like a block from there.
Yeah.
And I used to live like really close to Slaughter Park. Also, I didn't know this, and we recently heard it. I think it was on 40F or on a podcast. I don't remember what it was.
On 40F.
But apparently that under Canseco House, what it used to be was an abortion clinic where they would do secret like medical procedures. And it was they had tunnels under the areas for people to be taken out, and like that way there was no like suspicion about what they were doing there, or you know,
Burger King.
So yeah. Basically, bro.
Conectaba el baño.
Yeah, dude.
Let me get a number one.
Yeah, and
I'm tired.
and so there's supposedly like, there was like a whole like tunnel system under it.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah, which Slaughter property did you go to? Because there's like 3 houses.
So
in
we
that
went. I
area.
guess it's the main house.
The one that's all boarded up.
The thing
Yeah.
in the back.
And then we went into the back part que parecen como garages, güey.
Oh yeah.
Nos
That's-
subimos los stairs.
It's like the maid's quarters.
Yeah.
I think so. Y ahí cuando nos subimos, güey, en el recording hago detailed donde se oyen los noises. There's a noise when we're getting out porque hay una ventana en el pasillo está derecho.
Yep.
And there's a window that you can see outside. Where on the film, when you're looking at it, se ve bien claro donde yo estoy moviendo la cámara. Si ves la ventana, se ve como una figura. Sí, ahí en la ventana y dices, no hay nadie parado, güey. Del otro lado es un pinche free fall.
Sí.
Cuando estamos ahí, güey, pues se oye el air bien culero. Ahí adentro sí hay aire, o sea, que se oye, que te da miedo. Pero cuando nos estamos saliendo, ahí no lo notamos. When I was editing the video, like, pegándolo, donde nos estamos saliendo se ve como un growl, güey. Pero un growl fuerte. Y cuando estamos afuera, mi amigo Chino, you know Chino.
Yeah.
We were outside. He was fucking like upset with me because I like convinced him, güey, to go. Él no quería ir, güey. Y cuando llegamos a Slaughter Park, before we get off, he's about to open the door. I'm like, espérate, güey. And I take out holy water, güey. Y me persino. Y luego me dice, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bro, he was like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like,
warfare.
hey, güey, I just want to be like on the good side, güey. Nomás quiero, si me entiendes,
Por si
ir,
por
güey.
no.
Es por si las moscas, güey. Nunca sabes, güey. Y este güey, pues también, güey, se persinó y nos bajamos. When that happened in the house, que se oían cosas, we were outside and he's pissed, güey. And a mí me valió verga, dejé todo el recording para YouTube, güey. Pero está, te dije, ¿pa' qué chingados? And as he's talking, güey, my phone's still recording, right? Entonces lo tengo así el phone. Güey, está bien mamón porque él está grite y grite. Y en el phone, en el video, se están viendo un vergazo de orbs, güey.
Oh,
Chingos de orbs. Y ahí pongo, like, orbs in this scene, Y se ven, güey, se ven bien claros. There's a big-ass tree right in front of the house. No sé si ustedes que se
Yeah, I used to live there. So, not in the tree, but I mean, I used to live next to the park. I would go there all the time.
So supposedly the story that they told us was that there was one of the maids, I think she was having an affair with the guy from the house. And I believe she was pregnant. And he made her like have an abortion. Y ahora que dices ese pedo, güey, de la Canseco, güey, mi amigo dice que su abuelita trabajó ahí, que ella iba a la casa de los Canseco a levantar la medicina. A lo mejor ella la llevó ahí, güey, a la abortion. No sé.
Lo lleva a Burger King después.
But the lady, like, they made her go through an abortion and she was, pues, estaba destrozada, güey, la muchacha, because she was young and I think she was from Mexico. Y dicen que se colgó, güey, en ese árbol.
I've heard about the person killing themselves. They don't know the backstory
Yeah.
of the thing. Pero antes, yo fui, he ido durante el día y en la noche. The first time I went, I didn't know anything about that story. Y nomás, like, viéndola, I was like, that looks like a good tree to hang from. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
your fucking reaction.
Yeah,
dude,
like.
So not a lot of people know there's actually 3 houses on the property, right? There's the one that's like the people that still live there that maintain the area.
Donde está el plantation y todo.
Yeah, the plantation area in the back. Then there's the one that you're talking about, which is the one that has the little garage thing in the back. It's all fucking crumbling already. And then there's one further back in the area that's kind of like submerged. I'm not sure if you've seen that
Like
one.
to the back left?
So to the back, right? If you're going
facing the house.
If you're facing the house, it's going to be on the right. There's a whole garden area thing that's there in the back. Further behind that, there's
I didn't see that one.
There's an area that's kind of sunken.
Yeah.
And that house, like the whole first floor, I don't know if it's like because it might have flooded or something like that. The whole I went there with Nichols once.
The river is right behind it, right?
Yeah, the river is
right
literally right there. That's why BP is there all the time. You probably can't even get to that house anymore because BP has roped off a lot of areas for you not to be there because of like trespass or whatever.
Like, hey, we don't want to accidentally shoot you.
Yeah, well, they have there's other areas if you walk further out where you can actually see the river, and there are some little like sheds that are supposed to be places for like I don't know, like the water treatment or something. And in those sheds, whenever you go by there, sometimes there's like clothes there that people have like changed into and stuff. So it's a very high traffic like crossing point. But yeah, that house, I remember I went there with Nichols once when we were in high school. And at the time, I thought Slaughter Park was like a nickname. I didn't know it was actually named after like Slaughter.
Yeah, it's because you hear those name way.
The
it's
Slaughter,
like,
yeah.
Someone got slaughtered.
So
automatically, I was like, did people get like killed here?
We went there and we were on the first floor, and he was like recording things with his phone.
So this is there at Slaughter Parkway. This is after we got out of the house, way. I told Chino, give me a stick. I want to move that back porque soy algo, güey. Me da el pinche palo más chiquito que soy yo. Look.
Here.
What the fuck?
That was their way.
What the fuck, bro?
What is this?
That's there at Slaughter Park in one of the
What the fuck, bro? Holy shit, dude.
There's a back way, and before I show you this way, ahí en el Slaughter Park hay caminitos que se hacen pa'l monte, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Y yo le digo a él, güey, güey, let's get one of these, trails, let's record, and we're talking about it. Y cuando llegamos, están 2 bolsas negras, güey, en el piso. Y la primera, güey, veo yo como que se mueve, güey. Y yo, ¿sabes qué pensé? Dije, pinche gente, güey, aventado en un gato, algo en una bolsa, qué ojetes. And I turned to him y le digo, güey, dame un palo. Y me da, güey, un palo. Güey, literally, güey, my hand's shaking, güey. But I'm recording, like, no mames, güey. Like, me había dado un pinche palo, güey. Donde yo muevo la bolsa, güey, güey. A ver si lo alcanzas a ver. Right there, güey, it's like, hey, güey, give me a stick. Look at that fucking little... Ahí se ve, güey.
What the fuck is that, dude?
So it was like era como una muñeca, güey.
Okay, all right. I was tripping. I was like, this is a fucking doll, right?
Yeah, it's a doll, güey. It was a doll, güey, pero parecía sangre, güey.
Yeah, it did,
I didn't
güey.
fucking touch it or smell it, pero lo más cabrón es que si ves when I like open it, güey, tiene animales, güey. No
Yeah,
sé
yeah.
So dices tú, no es como si yo lo planeamos y le dijimos a los animalitos, no se muevan. Yeah. Ahorita que ahora ya empiezan a correr todo. No, güey.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
Mira, para que haya animales, güey, dicen que quiere decir que ya tenía tiempo ahí ese pedo. Pero lo que se le ve, güey, se ve como sangre, güey.
Yeah.
O sea, no se ve
and
como...
that would explain why there's like...
Yeah, it looks like something that's decomposing, but
and
it's a fucking plastic doll.
10 seconds before that, güey, I see the bag, I hear something, y ahí lo pongo. So, oye, que gritó una niña, güey.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
And it's like 12:30 or some shit like that,
You gotta send me the link to that so
and
I can put it in the notes.
Y se me hizo bien raro, güey, because we put up the video on YouTube, and we didn't get like a big reaction porque yo pienso que a lo mejor no se movió mucho, güey. Y back then, pues yo no pensaba mucho en hacerlos, no que el clickbait, pero ponerlo eso hacia el
como
principio.
un highlight, boom.
Sí, güey,
Yeah.
yo lo empecé como, aquí estábamos, Slaughter Park. Toda la gente, güey, que le he dicho, fui a Slaughter Park, todos me dicen, ¿y qué vio? No. And when I show them the video, it's like that, like, a la verga, güey, que no. Yeah, güey, that was our first video we ever did, güey. And we get out of there running, güey, porque en eso pasa eso. Y la second bag, güey, se oye algo, güey.
No.
Y donde yo me estoy acercando, el pinche chino, I mean, I love him to death, güey, pero he was the one that helped me start Beyond the Darkness, because, like, I told him, I need someone que está ahí oyendo las historias que quiero contar. A él no le gusta, güey, esto, güey. Like, he fucking hates scary shit, güey. Y este güey me hizo en la esquina que, no, pues, like, I'll help you out, I'll be there. When I told him I want to start doing, like, this type of shit, where I go, he was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Güey, lo convencí de que, güey, I'll buy some beers y que no sé qué. He went, güey, estamos ahí, and I'm heading towards the second bag, and this guy just starts running, güey. No. Grite, güey. And I'm like, what the fuck, me voy corriendo, y llegamos al otro, y digo, güey, ¿qué pasó? Dijo, güey, soy yo alguien, güey, enseguida de mí. Es like, alguien estaba ahí enseguida de mí. Y nomás se baja, güey, running. Y luego ese día, güey, he had this big-ass keychain from his job, güey, que tenía como 200 llaves. Pinche video, güey, todas las llaves. Yo, pinche llavero que traía, güey, su pinche fridazo. Pero sí, güey, si nos cagamos ahí en Slaughter Park, güey. Pero esa monita, o sea, de la nada, güey, ahí estaba tirada.
That's trippy.
Yeah.
That's fucking trippy.
Y en la casa, pues, nomás se oían como que reviews y eso. Ahora for this season, where we're on season 4 of Beyond the Darkness, way, we want to do a little bit more, like, outside travels for this, like, to get some new videos para esto. Hay una historia, güey, no me acuerdo cómo se llama el lugar aquí en Texas, que se supone que se llama Candy Lady, la señora. No sé si, have you ever heard of that?
No.
Here in Texas. So apparently, güey, está por Houston, si no estoy mal. Esta señora era ella, su esposa, y tenían una bebita de como 8 meses. Y un día ella le encarga la bebita al esposo. And he's outside, like, they were también farmers, güey. Y ella se mete a bañar. Y este señor, no sé qué empieza a hacer. Está tomando, que no le pone atención. Y la niña, no sé si se cae. Y cae mal y se muere, güey.
No mames.
Sale la señora, está el señor quebrado, güey, llorando pedo, güey, de que se murió la niña. Y ella le echa la culpa, güey, de que por tu culpa estabas tomando, So viene la policía, güey, ya se hace, like, todos en el pueblo supieron. Por la señora dicen que pasan 2 meses and she couldn't get over it, güey. Like, you literally killed our baby. Eso es lo que ella pensaba, güey. Y este señor, güey, le gustaban chingo los... Have you ever heard the butterscotch candy?
Yeah.
Pues esta pinche vieja, güey, no lo envenenó con dulces, güey. Lo mató, güey, a su propio esposo. Y la policía se dan cuenta, güey, van por ella, güey, they arrest her. And the cop, he was, like, the main cop from the city, dicen que, like, he, like, mistreated her. Que según que había abusado de ella when he was arresting her. La meten a la cárcel, le hacen como que un psychological evaluation y la mandan a una... ¿Cómo se dice?
Un psych ward.
Ya, un psych ward, güey. De ahí del mismo pueblo, güey. Y todavía ese hospital existe ahorita, güey. Nomás que ahora ya es un hospital en ese pueblo. Pasa el tiempo, güey, and they start noticing como que no, pues ya está mejor ella. Lo único es que de cloth, güey, como de camisas de garras, hizo una muñeca, güey. Y ella decía, güey, que era su hija. Y en el pinche lugar ese en las noches oían que hablaba con la muñeca, güey. Hubo un security, güey, que mencionó que él oyó la muñeca contestando, güey.
Oh, what the fuck?
No, and that's not like the creepiest part, güey. Y esto pasó aquí en Texas. It's actually our first episode for season 4. It's called Candy Lady. La dejan salir, güey, because the place is getting overpopulated. And they're like, she's okay. I mean, she's just talking to a doll. Let her go. She gets out of jail, right? Se va exactamente pues, para la propiedad donde vivía con el esposo. A las 2 semanas, la hermana viene de no sé dónde a levantarla para llevársela para donde ellos vivían acá en San Antonio, no sé dónde. Y no está, güey, la señora en la casa y no la pueden hallar. A la misma vez que no la pueden hallar, the sheriff goes missing, güey. Like the main sheriff, güey, from the town, he's missing, güey. Pasan como 6 meses, güey, no lo hallan. Y en eso, güey, empiezan los reportes de que niños les empiezan a decir a sus papás que una señora les está tocando en la ventana y les deja dulces, güey.
No seas, mamá.
Al principio they start panicking because, pues ya es los papás como, a la verga, una señora tocándole a mi hijo, ¿qué chingados es esto? Y sí, güey, les dejaba dulcitos. Pues de repente faltan 2 niños, güey, en el pueblo. Y luego de esos 2 niños se va 4. O sea, parece que fueron como 12 los niños que faltaron. Un día, güey, andan buscando los niños en uno de los farms and they come across the body of the sheriff, güey. Lo hayan decomposed, pero en el cuerpo, güey, no tenía los ojos. Y en los ojos, güey, tenía wrappers de butterscotch candy.
What the
Damn.
Bro, when I heard that story, güey, I was like,
story,
that's not real. Güey, that shit happened in Texas.
Pinche movie, güey.
Sí, güey, neta que sí, güey.
That's a good fucking movie, bro.
And another close part
Fuck
from that farm, güey, they started finding, like, dientitos de niños, güey. Pero nunca pudieron dar si
They never found the lady?
No, güey, they never found her. Nunca la hallaron. Eso es el misterio grande del pueblo, güey.
That's creepy, bro. It makes me like...
Yeah,
like,
it's worse, güey, because now you're like, ¿y qué chingado le pasó? Yeah. My friend, when we spoke about the story, he's like, pues, I mean, she could have been killing the kids for sacrificial purposes, que quiere un cuerpo para su niña. And like what he was saying, güey, pues it does make sense, right? He said, but the worst case of all, dijo, is that they never find her. Like, nunca la hallaron, güey, a la señora. Ella nunca la hallaron, güey. No me acuerdo dónde mero fue, pero es aquí en Texas, güey. Si lo ven en episode 1, season 4, es Candy Lady. We speak about her. That shit is crazy.
We'll link these episodes in the show notes.
Yes, güey.
I want to have a part 2 of this, I think, because I think this is probably like one of the better episodes, talking like spoopy stuff the whole time, for sure.
The whole time, yeah.
Not long ago, I was having a spoopy night with my girlfriend. We were just watching like Nuke's Top 5 and scary movies and I don't know what. And she went to bed, and I couldn't sleep, so I got up to go play video games. And while I'm doing that, I hear a knock on the door.
Oh fuck!
And I'm like, first off, I have a doorbell. Why the fuck are you knocking on my door? Second, it's like midnight. You know, it's like midnight, and I'm like, there's no reason why anybody needs to be knocking on my shit. And so I'm playing video games with my friends, and I hear the and I think, is somebody fucking around? Like somebody is up, and I even take like my headphones off, and I'm like listening. Then my dog starts barking because he hears it too, and it's at the door. And I'm like, somebody's knocking at my fucking door. I go, dude, and I lift the little. I have like a window on the door, but it's covered by like a little like a curtain. I lift it. There's a guy staring right at me through the window in the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? I closed the shit and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, someone's outside of my house right now. And I just hear the guy, hey, sir, can you call the police? I was like, I lift the thing. I'm like, what's up, dude? What do you need? And he goes, hey, call LPD. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong? Are you hurt? And he's like, somebody's following me right now. I think they're trying to hurt me. And I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, okay, dude, I'll call right now, whatever. And at that point, like my dog's barking the whole time. So my girlfriend's listening. She gets up and she's asking like, what's going on? I'm like, somebody's at her fucking door right now. Can you call the cops? He's asking because he says he's being followed. She's like, okay. And I go and I keep looking, dude, and the guy's just there, but he's standing up against the door, bro. Like he didn't knock and step back. He knocked and he's like right there at the door. So I tell him, I'm like, hey man, you're making me uncomfortable by standing so close to the fucking door. Can you step back? And when he steps back, I see him like fully more in like view, and I see that he has blood on his pants, on his shorts. I see his blood on his shorts, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I turn around and I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, get in the room with the kids. Don't come out until we got this shit solved. What's it called? And but there's some shit going on or whatever. This guy I think has blood on his pants. And she goes and she's like she's already on the line with the police department and telling them and stuff. And then so I go to the back and like I'm telling my girlfriend and the kids like, hey, just stay here, settle down, whatever. I go back and I look through the window and he's not fucking there anymore. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like at that point I was like, okay, like where the fuck is he? And then the cops pulled up in like 2 minutes maybe. And then I see them like shining lights around and they find the guy. He's sitting down like on the curb. And then the cops come up to me and they were like, yeah, nah, he's on something. Like they were like, yeah, he's on some shit. Like he doesn't have blood on his pants. It's actually a really just stupid design. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, it's designed like if he has a bloody handprint on his short, but it's not actual blood.
That,
I was like, bro, holy shit. That's funny because the next day, like, we were talking with it was my girlfriend's birthday the next day, and we went to go eat with her family, and we were sitting down there talking with them, and we tell them this story, and so I think somebody comments like why don't you have a gun, right? And my girlfriend's like oh no, my girlfriend's mom is like, no, are you crazy? If you had a gun, you would imagine if you would have like made it worse, like you wouldn't have been calling the police. And then my girlfriend's like, yeah, we would have been calling the ambulance. That's fucking funny. But
fucking crackheads, dog.
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I mean, es que te están tocando la puerta, me están siguiendo, and the guy keeps staring at you. You're like, hey, si te están siguiendo, yo estuviera viendo para atrás.
Yeah, no shit.
Que no llegue alguien el que te está siguiendo.
It was weird, bro. It was fucking strange. But yeah, hey, this has been a fucking great episode. I have really enjoyed sitting and talking with Chapa, and we'll put all of the links to the things that we were watching, because I know there was a lot of like videos that we were like reacting to, but we'll put up links to those, and that way you guys can go and check it out. Definitely follow Beyond the Darkness podcast. I tagged them in our Instagram story right now, but we'll share it also later. What do we have? So
4DF, Papa.
So on the topic of this, and maybe this is something we can collaborate on, but on the topic of like scary stories and scary videos and paranormal stuff, we are having Fear in the Frontera 4DF. So that's going to be the next live audience podcast that we have.
October 7th, Friday.
It's going to be October 7th, Friday at Cultura Beer Garden. And this one, we want to really get y'all to interact with us and to be a part of the show. So we want you to send us any and all scary stories, videos, pictures, whatever it is that we're going to have a visual presentation thing there.
AOTB.cast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Send it to us on there or DM us and we'll tell you how to send it. But definitely start sending that stuff out. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, me? No,
yes.
Just the same thing. Like, check us out at Laredo Chingon or Beyond the Darkness podcast on YouTube. Y pues everything that we spoke about, we got it there. Like, we're on season 4 right now, on episode 7. We already have 4 seasons. Y we're trying to work on El Más Allá de la Oscuridad, which is the one that I told you, it's when we actually go to the places. Our newest episode, or the one we're trying to create right now, it's actually the one on Donkey Lady. We want to go and get our little, we want to finish that one.
I want to go to that, dude.
You guys are more than welcome, to join us, when we go,
Yeah, I'm fucking down.
That'd be awesome, for real,
We're going to go, and we're going to see the shadow, and if we don't see it, then...
Hopefully we just see the shadow.
Yeah, right? Watch, we're going to cross the bridge, we're going to get all the way to the house, and we're not going to see shit.
I'm going to see if I can get you guys, like, some of the clips and pictures, y se los voy a mandar también para que los tengan.
Fuck yeah.
Because we do get, like, some pictures, we get some vids. Of course, we go over everything that they send us, porque en veces sí, te mandan cosas que dices, no mames, o sea, tú lo hiciste, tú lo hiciste, pero there's some pictures que sí nos han llegado, y vids de que dices, when we were in that hotel that I was telling you, the Holiday Inn, the manager that was talking to us, she actually pulled out a video from their camcorder.
No shit.
De ahí del hotel, güey. Y en el video se ve que está, like, I guess it's the guy that's there.
The clerk, like, or whatever.
The clerk.
Yeah.
Y donde él está ahí parado, no sé qué está haciendo, se ve bien claro, güey, que pasa un shadow flotando de él, de atrás de él, güey, a la oficina. La oficina donde era el office del Game Worm, de la cárcel, güey. Güey, nos mandó el video, lo pusimos también ahí. Se ve, güey, una pinche shadow que pasa hacia atrás de él flotando, güey.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that, dude. Definitely go and check out Beyond the Darkness podcast. Laredo Chingon. Do you have a... Hey, also, this guy's a fucking amazing chef. If you got a chance to check out the Platos de Chapa, right?
Yes.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
The catering service, they have amazing... I think that I've tried maybe like 2 plates. The one that I remember being like fire was the you did a pechuga rellena, right?
Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. Amazing.
Shout out to pechuga rellena, bro.
Yeah, dude, go and check that out. And yeah, we'll have all that stuff in the show notes. Definitely send us your stuff for 40F. Check out the mic drop. We've got like 3 fucking shows this month and another one next month in October too. And yeah, anything else?
That's it.
All right, that's it. Love you. Bye.
See you guys.